pushing a bill to address what she calls disproportionate rates of HIV/AIDS in the Black community. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
Back in the 1980s, St. Louis for AIDS hosted a panel discussion that addressed the issue of AIDS being seen only as a white gay disease, and concluded it was also an epidemic in the Black community in St. Louis and East St. Louis from the very beginning. This week in Illinois, State Senator Kimberly Lightford spoke out about her push to help address the issue in disadvantaged communities.
African Americans represent a fraction of Illinois' population, yet we bear a vastly disproportionate burden of new HIV and AIDS cases. Our communities have been asked to fight an epidemic with one hand tied behind our back. Enough is enough.
House Bill 4801 would send $15 million to the African American HIV/AIDS Response Fund each year in order to create a biomedical resource hub that would provide preventative care and other support services. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
The City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency published a detailed report and proposed framework for data center zoning regulations. This comes as the city seeks to establish clear and thoughtful rules on where and under what conditions and requirements data centers could be allowed in the City of St. Louis. The framework presented in the report remains a work in progress and will be refined through community feedback, stakeholder conversations, and discussions with the Planning Commission and the Board of Aldermen. The recommendations will be presented at the next Planning Commission meeting on February 11th. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. 40 degrees. Time now is 6:08. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Rose Dalton. Good morning, Connor McCarthy.
Two bed bugs fell in love.
Oh.
They're getting married in the spring.
In the spring.
Yeah, everybody loves a good bed bug joke.
Not enough of them, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're pulling up bed bugs.
In the spring.
In the spring, see. She's got a million of them, ladies and gentlemen.
Not bed bugs, jokes, not bed bugs.
Coming up on the show today, Jim Ryan's got the latest on Nancy Guthrie. I watched that news conference yesterday. First of all, that police chief is the best. That guy handled the media, couldn't be any more respectful, couldn't have been any more understanding. I mean, Tucson's got it going on down there. With that being said, he didn't say anything. There's nothing to be said. And he sort of insinuated it kind of at the end of the news conference that, well, he didn't insinuate. He said, we're not going to hold these anymore until there's actual news because he says it's pointless to keep having these news conferences where there's no news. And it's sort of, he also said, you need to give us time, you need to give us space so that we can do our job, insinuating that this has reached a sort of phase 2, which is, I don't want to say cold case, but if you're expecting like a stunning conclusion by Friday or Monday, or how long will this, it might be months. It might be weeks. It might be years. If ever we find out what happened.
Well, and do they have to have news conferences?
Well, no.
Do you know what I mean, though? Like, can they just be like, well, like, they keep having these news conferences and there's nothing to really talk about. Why do they have to do this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think because it's an insatiable appetite of the news media. So to give them space so they're not answering all these questions all the time, hold a news conference, answer all the questions, satisfy the beast, and then sort of go about your duty. But he kind of insinuated that look, if they don't have any leads as of today, right, something's got to break in this case. And they don't have anything. There's no, we're waiting for this DNA. We're looking back to, we have somebody of interest here. We have a car. We have a partial license plate. They don't have anything. So it's more or less like they started in phase 2 of this, which is, it could be months. It could be years. Right? That was sort of the jive I got at the end of that thing. Jim Ryan's going to join us. Karen Travers is at the White House Donald Trump starting his own prescription drug website. A lot of questions about that. Karen Travers has got that news. Caleb Silver going to be joining us. The markets are gyrating, and hold on to your crypto because it is plummeting. It's was it 64,000 last night? Got all the way down to 60,000. It's like been cut in half. Gold is going through the roof. Crypto is falling through the floor.
Should you hold on to it or should you sell it?
Don't listen to me.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Do you have any crypto laying around?
No crypto. No,
No, you got no crypto.
I cashed out of my crypto when it was 10 cents. No, I never bought. Josh got me to buy it for like 5 minutes. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Wait, seriously?
Josh was in it when it was like 20,000. Josh like, dude, crypto. It's all about crypto. And I bought it for like a day. I was like, this is stupid. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm buying. I'm buying air. So
You didn't understand it.
I still don't quite understand it.
Okay.
And I look, I don't have to traffic in drugs or money laundering or anything like that, so I don't really need it, which is what I'm apparently all it's good for.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to use it like money, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to use it like an investment, you don't need to be a drug dealer.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. But you do need security because they come and chop your hands off and they torture you for your password.
Well, I don't know how often that actually happens.
Well, it happens.
Who accepts crypto as current? Like,
There's been a couple of stories like a pizza guy early on was like, give me some crypto.
Have you never seen those like Bitcoin ATMs?
I've never seen one.
You've never seen one?
Those things are scary. Yes, you have.
Go to the corner store in Dogtown. There's one.
There's yes, you have. You've seen those ATM Bitcoin machines. They're nothing more than just scams in convenience stores.
Right.
What is it? It's not a scam because you're getting you're getting it.
Well, the only people that use them are older women who have been told to leave the car running while they put their life
Scam would
savings
imply
into it.
like you're not getting the Bitcoin.
Okay, the scammers convince the old ladies to give them money and go to a Bitcoin machine and use that as the vehicle.
I've seen people use it legitimately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To buy Bitcoin.
To just get Bitcoin.
Because they've saved up their milk money.
Mostly it's like they have Bitcoin. They want to have cash to buy liquor from the corner store. And then because this is the only place I've seen it at. Is that.
So it's such a good source of currency that you have to go and trade it into dollars.
Right. That's why it doesn't really work.
That's why it doesn't work, which is why I said I don't understand it. So, anyway.
We're getting there.
No, we're not getting there. Caleb Silver has got the tech news. Mark Moser is getting his jersey hung from the rafters. I talked to him at 7:50. So funny. Mark Moser's been here for a long time and is a giant in the soccer community.
He is.
And you're like, you? Really? Moser? It's like working with Babe Ruth. And
I know.
Like, really? You're Babe Ruth? You're Stan Musial? Really?
Are you going to the game?
No, no.
I'm going.
Yeah, I would like to go.
Connor, are you going to go?
No.
Moser's, I bet you, he's been
I want to get a poster, too.
He also was just, tapped by God as a grandfather 2 or 3 times. I think twice. I think he had 2 grandkids in the last week or so. So I'm sure he's more excited about that. But anyway, we'll talk to the Babe Ruth of soccer, Mark Moser. Will Gans has got some movies: The Muppets, The Burbs, and the Super Bowl. Johnny Londoff will be along. Dan Zarlinga is going to be talking about Eagles. And then before we get out of here, we'll get a primer on the Super Bowl from Randy Carricker. So we got all that. We got a busy morning for you.
What's The Burbs? Are they doing a remake of The Burbs?
No, and then I'm interviewing after the show Julian Barnes. You want to read a good book? You want to read a really good book?
Yes.
You want to read a really, really, really good book. It's called Sense of an Ending. Came out, I don't know, a couple years ago, written by Julian Barnes. He's one of the most preeminent writers of our day, and he's out with a new book. So I'm taping an interview with him after the show today. But A Sense of an Ending is a great book, and it's just a novel, and it's just a story about a couple and a mom, and what happens as you get older and younger, and what happened back in the day, and how it affects what happens today. It's just a novel. and but a sense of an ending. The people who know books say that it structurally is like one of the greatest books ever written. Yeah. Yeah, called Sense of an Ending. So if you're interested. They turned it into a movie. I didn't see the movie, but the book was one of those rare books where like you're reading it and you can't read it fast enough because you have to know how it ends. Right? You're like, what is going on? What is going on? You like want to jump to the end to find out. 6:17 here, Big 550 KTRS. I do that with traffic reports and Captain Paul Kopsky. I'm dying to find out what happens with the traffic. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, take it away, my friend.
Tell you right now, McGraw, we have no problems on the roads right now. Here's one construction note. Northbound lanes of 270 near 64 will shift for construction again tonight. Crews will close up to 2 additional northbound lanes on 270 near 64 overnight, with the closures set to start at 8 p.m. this evening. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years for all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
We're tracking highs back towards the upper 40s this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Into Saturday, looking cooler thanks to an overnight passing dry cold front. Highs back towards the mid-30s, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're back on a warming trend. Highs towards the lower 50s, mostly sunny. Monday and Tuesday of next week, temperatures back towards the lower 60s. But Tuesday, we're going to start to see an increase for the potential for some showers. That'll last all the way through next Saturday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, today is February 6th. You've got till February 14th. So what does that mean? You need to get to Lordo's Diamonds this weekend, right? All right, maybe not today, but this weekend you want to get to Lordo's Diamonds and then pick out something kind of special. Pick out something very special. Pick out something that is the ultimate and special. That's Lordo's. They've got all levels. Everything is GAA certified. It's a family jeweler. Maybe you want to take the brooch that grandma gave your spouse, your significant other, your daughter, and you want to turn it into a little something else, right? You can do that at Lordo's Diamonds. They do that every single day. You know, when I go there, I end up spending a good, half hour, 45 minutes. You end up talking and telling a story and what do you know and who'd you see and all that type of stuff. And if you're there for any length of time, you see how many people come in, all sections of society. It's everybody comes in. I'm in from Baldwin. I'm in from St. Charles. I'm in from Belleville. Everybody in town, no matter where you live, they use Lordo's as their family jeweler because of, everyone's well-respected and well-trusted. The work is done right. The pricing is right. The customer service is right. That's why they call it Round Team. Lordo's Diamonds, 314-432-8008 or lordosdiamonds.com. Today's February 6th. Valentine's Day is coming right up. Don't forget, Lordo's Diamonds, your family jeweler. That's where you go. Lordo's or lordosdiamonds.com.
File your taxes for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. Just file on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. Valid for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
We hear so much about quality time, but it's the quantity of time that we want. Every member of the family gets enlisted in so many activities. As quality time usurps quantity, there's so little time to enjoy the freedoms that make America the envy of the world. If we could only unplug, disengage, and spend quality time together, well, we can, in an RV. Escape into a whole new world in a Byerly RV.
Byerly RV.
Wherever you go, you're always at home in a Byerly RV.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 4 on the Big 550 KTRS.
621 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's check in with Jim Ryan. Jim, the Nancy Guthrie story. They held a news conference yesterday. No news. Got a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, a lot of rumors shot down, but not a lot of news yesterday.
No, you're right, because there just isn't much new to report on this. Now, we have seen a timeline of sorts that the Pima County Sheriff has provided there. Nancy Guthrie had dinner at the home of her older daughter, not Savannah, but Annie, and her son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni. And according to the FBI, Cioni took her home at about 9:50 on Saturday night, okay? Go forward a few hours. The news conference yesterday, the FBI said that the doorbell camera was disconnected at about 1:47 in the morning. Then at 2:12, a different camera on the property detected motion, but no video was recorded. Then at 2:28, about 15, 20 minutes later, Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker was disconnected from her cell phone. You know, it's the type that monitors her heart and then forwards the data to the phone. And that's when the FBI believes she was abducted, that she disappeared from her home. There was blood found there at the home. The DNA testing has shown that it is, in fact, Nancy Guthrie. So that's where the case stands right now. She just hasn't been seen since then.
They also mentioned that they went back to the house for more investigation. Talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, it's just a matter of continuing that search, that fine-tuned, fine-combed look for any evidence there at the home, looking for hair samples, looking for any other blood that might be in the home, just anything that might point in some direction. So far, we just haven't heard anything about that, though, McGraw.
Yeah, and so he did, just for a point of reference, he did say the camera picked up a body of a moving object of some kind, yeah, but they just couldn't tell what it was.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it was so dark there, and the doorbell camera was actually gone. So this was apparently a different detector, attached to a light or something. So, but no videos there from that. So, I mean, it's mysterious. And then, of course, we've got these so-called ransom notes that have been received by several media outlets and then turned over to the FBI. Ransom notes that apparently demand millions in Bitcoin and then set deadlines. One of those deadlines was last night. Another is this coming Monday, but really nothing clear or definitive as to what would happen at that particular deadline. So and the family, of course, the daughters and the son yesterday made public appeals, video appeals for the kidnappers, if this was a kidnapping, to send some sort of evidence that they have her and that she's alive. Well, consider this, McGraw. In 2026, even if the FBI gets this video of Nancy Guthrie sitting there saying, I'm okay, I'm all right, but please cooperate with these people, they're going to have to study that very carefully because you could fake that kind of video with AI pretty easily.
They did arrest somebody who they discovered was they called him an imposter who was just trying to make money off of this whole thing.
Right. Derek Kalaya of Los Angeles. He's charged with transmitting a ransom demand related to a kidnapped person and anonymous interstate communications. That's what the charge reads. Apparently, to put it succinctly here, he had reached out to Savannah Guthrie and her brother, demanding, posing as kidnappers, demanding ransom, and then contacting them by text message. Well, the FBI had a fairly easy job of tracing back that text message to Derek Kalala. Now he's in custody.
Yeah. Jim, you've been through a lot of these. At the end of this news conference, the police chief sort of alluded to the fact we're not going to keep having these news conferences if there's no news, and please give us space and please give us time. I sort of took that as it might be weeks, it might be months before some other type of news happens in this story.
Exactly, right. Until she's found, until they determine that she was kidnapped and maybe track down the kidnappers. Yeah, there may not be much more to say on this until something happens. So, and you're right. I mean, that kind of is a signal that, okay, we need to be left alone to continue the investigation. Even the family might be quiet now. Who knows?
Well, yeah, and it's almost like there's such a lack of evidence and a lack of leads that, it could be weeks or months, and sort of the family's left in this limbo of we don't know. Then you have to deal with Savannah Guthrie. When does she go back to work? Does she not go back to work? Every time she shows up on the air, everyone's thinking about her mom. I mean, this thing is you're in sort of a nightmare territory here.
That's a good way to describe it. A nightmare. Just a terrifying, anxious wait for some kind of information from someone, from the FBI, from kidnappers. If this was a kidnapping case. It's just got to be agonizing. I can't imagine that Savannah Guthrie has slept much since her mom disappeared a week ago.
Yeah, heartbreaking stuff. All right, Jim. Thanks for checking in, Jim. All right, 627 here, Big 550 KTRS. Not trying to make light of any of this, but the police chief did say, unprovoked, we saw the image on the camera. We couldn't tell what it was. The camera company couldn't tell what it was. He said we couldn't even tell if it were an animal or a human. So, which is what I said. Has anybody looked at a wild somebody coming in there?
Javelinas are terrifying.
Javelinas and coyotes and whatever else. I mean, she's not a strong woman. She's a frail woman. She's, an elderly woman. I think it's kind of a crazy idea, even though I floated it. But, you got to at least look at it. And the guy said he said it could have been an animal. He said we couldn't tell. So anyway, I have a feeling we've now entered into this new sort of long game, and this has gone cold. And what happens now? How long does she not work? When does she go back to work? What does she do? You have to go back to some type of normal life while you wait for, it isn't like next Tuesday's the deadline. You just you woke up one day, your mother disappeared, and the cops will say, we're working on it, but we don't know what to tell you. So just heartbreaking stuff. 628 here, Big 550 KTRS. On a lighter note, much more pleasant note. 628 here, Big 550 KTRS. Driving home yesterday, the little one is, Daddy, I want to go straight home. Daddy, straight home. Well, we have to make a little bit of a detour. Swung by Woods Mill and Clayton Road, pulled in the back of 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery, walked in and said, guys, I need something to take home. They couldn't have been any more nicer, and they wrapped up a nice little care package for us, and very reasonably priced. Got some ribs and some turkey and some pulled pork and some sides, and put it all in a bag and brought it home and had a nice little dinner before dance class. It was actually really very nice. It was great, easy, simple. That'll be definitely a staple in the next couple of weeks and months as we sort of get into busy season. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery. You don't just need to eat there. You can take it with you. You can get it delivered. You can get it catered. You're guaranteed to get a great barbecue. The ribs are outstanding. Outstanding ribs. The pulled pork was good. Who doesn't love smoked turkey? The sides are always great. And it's reasonably priced, and it's right there in the back of a gas station. West County Phillips 66 gas station, right there. They now have a sign out front that says barbecue, 3 Bay Barbecue in the back. It's not fancy. It's just good, just really good. West County Phillips 66 gas station on the corner of Clayton and Woodsville. Go see for yourself. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery or 3baybarbecueandbakery.com. Captain Paul, let's go to the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, the roads are quiet right now. We just have one construction note. Northbound lanes of 270 near 64 will shift for construction again tonight. Crews will close up to 2 additional northbound lanes on 270 near 64 overnight, with the closures set to start at 8 p.m. this evening. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Temperature is going to go all the way up to 48 today. A couple of clouds, a couple of rays of sunshine, high of 48. Overnight tonight, low of 24. Tomorrow, 37. Super Bowl Sunday. 54 degrees. Monday and Tuesday. Monday, we're going to be in the 60s. Tuesday, a high of 68. Okay. It is currently 40 right now. At 6:31, back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The family of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie is renewing their plea for their mother's kidnapper to contact them. Guthrie's brother Cameron posted a second plea on social media Thursday on behalf of the family. The message came hours after Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said investigators do not have proof 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie is alive, but believes she's still out there. The Trump administration has launched Trump RX, a website that says it will help patients buy prescription drugs directly at a discounted rate. The government-hosted website is not a platform for buying medications. Instead, it's set up as a facilitator, pointing Americans to drug makers' direct-to-consumer websites where they can make purchases. In local headlines, a data center is being considered in Granite City. A public meeting was held last night where residents voiced opposition to the proposed facility. And housing and dining costs are about to rise at the University of Missouri. The UM System Board of Curators voted yesterday to raise the prices of housing and dining plans at all 4 of its universities starting in fiscal year 2027. 40 degrees. Time now is 6:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. All your roles, fill them sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Bijou Chocolates in Webster Groves is bringing chocolate jewels to St. Louis. Owner and chocolatier Maggie Mobley and her talented staff create artisan, hand-painted chocolates with the perfect combination of science and art. Bijou Chocolates are so much more than delicious. Sweet treats. They create the handmade, meticulous works of art right inside their store in Webster Groves. For directions and hours, visit bijouchocolates.com.
It's the Big Sports Show with Sports Director Brendan Lisi. Weeknights 7 to 9 on the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Carney, Buck.
So the new book is It Could Have Been Me by a guy that was going out with Nicole Brown Simpson shortly before she was killed. Ooh.
We'll talk to him. Also, we're going to play a little Know the Show to try to brighten the mood a little bit and give you some gift cards.
Aaron Lapidus helps with some money. And did you mention Tom O'Keefe's going to take us to the movies?
I didn't, but you just did. We'll see you here right at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck. Weekdays at noon on KTRS. The Talk of St. Louis.
Schrader Funeral Homes and Crematory, St. Louis's oldest family-owned funeral home, offering complete funeral, burial, and cremation services, including an on-site reception center and crematory. 150 years of serving St. Louis families. Visit them at schrader.com.
$6:36 here, Big 550 KTRS. What are you smiling at over there, Rose?
Well, I like the music.
What was that? Was that Peter Gabriel?
Close.
No,
I like where you're going.
Phil Collins. I was in
You
the.
were definitely
How
in the
could you
right.
ever get those two confused?
I was in the ballpark. Karen Travers is going to be joining us about Trump RX. Caleb Silver in about an hour to talk about Investopedia and the stock market plunge, the Bitcoin plunge, and all that type of stuff. So we'll get to all that coming up here in a bit. You doing anything for the Super Bowl? Connor, doing anything for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe might go to a little, not like a big party or anything.
All right. I might be watching the reruns of This Old House. That's what I'll be doing.
Come on.
The Seattle Seahawks are a 4.5-point favorite.
That's right.
But they're also at 65 or 66-33 in the prediction markets. Right?
That's meaningless to me.
Oh, you're not a Kalshi guy or a Polymarket guy?
I just don't think it means anything.
Well, doesn't it mean that if you bet on the Seahawks, you get 33 cents for every dollar you bet?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything in terms of like predicting the game. I mean, like it's too easily manipulated. These people are morons betting on this site. There's not enough
What
people.
about the morons who are betting on the FanDuel sites?
No, because Vegas is setting those lines. So,
Vegas is all knowing. Okay,
McGraw, you pay attention enough. You'll be watching a random college basketball game. The line is like 18.5. You're like, how is this? How would they ever? And then the final margin is like 18. You're like, how did they know? How did they do this?
I get that they're good, but basically, if the Seattle Seahawks are 66 cents to the Patriots 33 cents. The Patriots have the bettors have a 2/3 better chance of winning the game than a 1/3 chance of winning the game. That's what the bettors think. But you also know that Vegas odds change where the money, if more money comes in on one team's, the odds and the points and the line go up and down.
But not public money. They don't care about public money.
Oh, I think they care about. I don't think they care where the money comes from.
No, I mean I can show you. Public money almost never moves the line. It's sharp money that will move the line.
Look at this guy. Look at Papa Giorgio over there.
I'm sorry, Smooth Jimmy.
Where would you like us to send the car, Mr.
Connor the Craftsman over here.
I'm just saying.
So can I pull on any channel, like Channel 5 at home at my antenna TV and watch the game?
You'll be able to watch it on over-the-air free TV.
So I'll probably tune in for the halftime show. I don't really care much about I don't care at all about the game. I don't really care about commercials at all anymore. But
which halftime show?
Interesting that you asked that. I'm going to go with
or the non-American one?
I love these people. Where can I find this alternative one? Where is that even available?
But these people who are melting down over Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl, I mean, you're holding on too tight. Who cares?
I know, and they say it's going to be a party. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I don't know anything Bad Bunny has ever sung. Is he that? Is he?
He's like the most streamed artist, like 4 of the last 5 years.
Well, that doesn't mean anything because that's easy money. That's not edge money. I don't know what that means. I don't believe those streaming numbers. That's all AI generated, and that's all fake too. Right, he's got a guy on the inside.
I don't know how to counter that.
I mean, is he as big as Michael Jackson or Garth Brooks?
Well, Garth Brooks, yes, but like no one will be as big as Michael Jackson.
But hosting the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You're at the peak of your game. You're telling me that Bad Bunny is worthy and known well enough to host the Super Bowl?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Like I just said, most streamed artists for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And kids, the youth are the streamers. You know what I mean? It's like I'm so far removed, so I can't. I'm like I don't even.
Was the Who in 2011?
Right.
The peak of their powers to do the Super Bowl halftime?
Well, the Who was pretty big. I mean, they're in their day.
In 2011?
No.
That was washed up, the Who. I'm sorry. I love the Who.
But Katy Perry, I mean, why did I know Katy Perry? Because I was younger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
You know, in 1989, they had an Elvis impersonator do the halftime show.
You go back and look at the halftime shows.
Elvis Presto.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's true.
You go back and look. They had like the Grambling marching band in like Super Bowl 1 or 2.
Well, and that was awesome. And at what point then did
It was
they stop paying?
Michael Jackson was like the shift to like the modern.
And that was
the
like at 3
modern
o'clock in the
shows.
afternoon. Yeah. Right? But remember, so now like they don't.
They had
when
Justin
did they stop
Timberlake
paying? Like you
and
pay
Janet
them
Jackson.
Almost.
Yeah, remember
We all know
that
what
controversy?
happened.
It's not going to be as controversial as that.
Yeah, 1980 was the Up with People, Feed the People.
Yeah, Up with
People, and the Grambling State Marching Band, and they had themes. The theme was like do a century of American ingenuity or something, and they would do, or it's like a tribute to the American big band, and they would play music from that.
Right.
Yeah,
that was the 80s. That
I
wasn't
know.
even that long ago.
The Super Bowl halftime show has become a thing, and I've never quite figured it out. Then you got Sam Darnold. Poor Sam Darnold, this guy.
What do you mean, poor Sam
Who's
Darnold?
Sam Darnold?
He's the quarterback, for
Is he the young one?
No.
The young-
No. He's the one who was drafted by the Jets and was ran out of New York on a rail. Don't ever darken our doorstep again. He was traded to the Carolina Panthers, washed out there.
Yeah, and he bounced around for a few years.
Yeah, then he went to the Vikings, did well last year. Then they were like, "We don't want you. We want our other guy who got hurt." So they cast him aside again. He gets picked up by the Seattle and now takes him to the Super Bowl. So I'm kind of rooting for him, just because he's
Well, and
the guy's been down on his luck and kicked out of other teams. We don't want you. You're terrible. When a 1 in 15 team says we don't want you, and he then goes on to take some other team to the Super Bowl, I'm kind of rooting for him.
I thought you might be bitter.
No, I'm not.
He's not. He was terrible with the Jets.
I think
the
the Jets. At the time, I'd watch the Jet games and I'm like, this guy's running for his life.
He was terrible with me.
He wasn't terrible.
Yeah, he was.
No,
I can pull up the numbers.
yeah. When you don't have an offensive line and they're chasing you, you're going to be terrible.
Right.
So, it's not.
I wish there was some way we could pull up an archive audio.
I've seen
trashing Sam Darnold.
I've seen
6 years ago.
No, I never trashed Sam Darnold. I think I said at the time the guy doesn't have any time. Was it? I don't know. I'm not one of those bash my quarterback guys.
All right.
I'm just not.
Who's the favorite to win?
Seattle's favored by 4.5.
Because you really don't like the Patriots, so you were going to vote. You were going to root for Seattle, regardless, right? Or anybody outside of.
If I watch 6 seconds of this game, I'll be shocked.
I didn't know the vitriol that you had for Tom. I didn't know that until it came up one day when I brought up Tom Brady, and you're like, I do not.
No, he's the devil.
Like Tom Brady.
No, he's the devil.
I had no idea.
I
love that.
He is the devil. That's all there is to it. No, I just, I'm rooting. I guess I'm rooting for Seattle, but I don't care. Let's get to baseball season.
And where's the game this year?
It's in San Jose.
Santa Clara.
Yeah. Northern
Oh.
California, Monterey Bay over there.
Can you see the Rock from the distance?
I don't know. 6:45 here, Big 550 KTRS. Do you have a prediction, Captain Paul Kopsky?
Well, you know what? My hope is for a good game, and I'd like to see it go to overtime, and I'm really not worried about who wins. I just like to see a good game.
You just want the Patriots to cover.
Yeah, and actually, I would like to see the Patriots to lose because I'm still bitter from 2002 when they beat the Rams. So
You and the rest of St. Louis.
That's
All right. How are the roads in
Well,
St.
the
Louis
roads
Plaza
are-
Company Traffic Center?
the roads are quiet right now, McGraw. We just have one construction note. Northbound lanes of 270 near 64 will shift for construction again tonight. Crews will close up to 2 additional northbound lanes on 270 near 64 overnight, starting at 8 p.m. this evening, progressing to 10 p.m., and ending at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Sorry about that. Weather-wise, we got the weather? Yeah, sorry about that.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
We're tracking highs back towards the upper 40s this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Into Saturday, looking cooler thanks to an overnight passing dry cold front. Highs back towards the mid-30s, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're back on a warming trend. Highs towards the lower 50s, mostly sunny. Monday and Tuesday of next week, temperatures back towards the lower 60s. But Tuesday, we're going to start to see an increase for the potential for some showers. That'll last all the way through next Saturday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, you'll be watching Sex and the City reruns. That's more of your jam at McGraw. I do love a good Sex and the City marathon. There's no question about it. Do you think a javelina or a bear would disarm the doorbell Ring camera? No, but they could eat it. So, I mean, right? Or she could have, taken it off at 1 o'clock, been awoke, right? What's going on? And, let's go to the doorbell. Oh, its doorbell's not working. Or let me see, or, it's on or off or whatever, right? Or a bear could have come and eaten it. Who knows? I don't know. How about the Kid Rock underage girl song, Statutory Mandatory? Have you heard of this?
That one's a real problematic song.
Is it?
Frankly, I don't know how Kid Rock got away with that.
He writes one of his songs is called Statutory Mandatory?
I'm going to pull up the lyrics for you.
No, don't pull
We're
up.
not going to do it on the air, but I'll show you the lyrics.
For really? Kid Rock has a song called Statutory Mandatory?
I don't know what the title of the song is, but he says those. Yeah.
Where's this story been all week?
It was like 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Kid Rock has a song called Statutory Mandatory.
I'm going to pull it up for you. Do your live so we
And this is the guy in Jeffrey Epstein week. This is the guy they get to sing the alternative American Super Bowl? Seriously? Is this a joke? Did you know about this?
I knew about it. A friend of mine pointed this out. It was like, he's been saying this for years, a friend of mine. It was on like the, you're not going to know. It was like on some animated movie, kids movie, and the song was on the.
It was a kids movie the song came from?
I don't know where it.
It's funny that you're surprised, though. It seems kind of typical. I'm just surprised he knows how to spell those words.
But it was on the soundtrack, and a friend of mine has been like, hey, why is this on there?
Okay. All righty then. 648 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk about Stewart at Stewart's American Mortgage. Let's quickly pivot from this story. Stewart at Stewart's American Mortgage, rates being what they are, the market's gyrating. I think the rates took another dip yesterday, but whatever they are, Stewart's watching it like a hawk. And when you think you're ready, call Stewart. Better yet, call him and say, hey, get me on your list. When you think I'm ready, call me. Because at Stewart's American Mortgage, he doesn't charge you any fees. So you can refinance now, lock into the lower rate now, and if it goes down in the future, lock in again. If you're buying, right, the real estate market's starting to sort of loosen up a little bit. Maybe it's time to start looking again. Call Stewart. Anything over $200,000 is considered bagel territory, bagel loan, no fees. He's the biggest in the region for a reason. It's because it doesn't charge you any fees. So call Stewart, 314-324-4440. Refinancing or buying, Stewart's your go-to. Stewart'sAMC.com.
My name is Dan Head, and I'm the new owner of Patriot Build Sunrooms. We are still a family company with a name trusted by St. Louis for sunrooms for over 40 years. We will continue to proudly serve our loyal customers with beautiful sunrooms, as well as expanded offerings like outdoor fireplaces, outdoor grilling centers, and patio covers. And Patriot Build Sunrooms is proud to support the Backstoppers on KTRS. Give us a call for a free design consultation at 314-822-3232 or online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
At Tropical World Pets, you're not just getting a pet, you're diving into an extraordinary experience. Located in Webster Groves, they boast St. Louis's largest selection of freshwater fish and aquatic plants, a stunning tank showroom, and the Midwest's most extensive tarantula collection. From crested geckos to bearded dragons, they offer the area's best captive-bred reptiles. Visit them and feel the tropical difference. Tropical World Pets. Explore more by calling 314-849-4020 or at twpstl.com. That's twpstl.com.
Mizzou basketball on the Big 550 KTRS is powered by Graybar. Graybar.
On the run, Mitchell for the flush, Missouri by 20.
Mizzou travels to South Carolina to play against the Gamecocks at noon. Pregame begins at 11:30 a.m.
Drives right baseline to the rim, jams it as he hangs.
Catch all the action right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Graybar for all your electrical and datacom solutions.
6:51 here, Big 550 KTRS. Karen Travers joins us. Donald Trump unveiled Trump RX. Karen Travers, lots of questions. What exactly is Trump RX?
Yeah, so it is a website, trumprx.gov, that connects consumers with pharmaceutical websites to buy drugs directly through them or get coupons to buy discounted drugs. It's very important to note this site is not selling drugs directly to American patients. It's more of a centralized hub that gets you to the drug makers that would offer discounts or on their own direct-to-consumer sites, or give you a coupon that you can take to a pharmacy. The president says that this is transformative. It's going to save consumers a fortune, but it's important to note also what it does not do. The website is very clear that Trump RX discounted pricing is only available for cash-paying patients. This is not a benefit for people who are using insurance or who want to use their insurance coverage. So if you are willing and able to pay out of pocket, pay with cash, use and for the cash price, this is a site for you. There are 43 drugs that are listed on there. Most are weight loss or fertility related. There's some for asthma and thyroid conditions as well. But there are some substantial discounts. And we have an article on our website. You can play around on trumprx.gov as well. But again, important to note, it's like it connects you to the site where you can then purchase the discounted drug, get a coupon to then go to the pharmacy, but can't do it through your insurance coverage.
Is it a government website or is it a private website?
Yeah, it's a government website. It's a .gov website. So, we've seen these over the years, whether it was healthcare.gov or other sites like that. This is trumprx.gov, kind of a landing place for you to go, and then it sends you to get the information you need to get the discounted pricing on the drugs to then buy, or the coupon to take to the pharmacy. There are still some questions. We had experts saying, like this could be complicated at the pharmacy end because it is so brand new. But there are websites that have been doing this already, third-party sites that try to help consumers find the lowest prices for medications or provide consumers. But now the government's getting involved in doing it too. So
yeah,
it is.
There's a couple things. One, it does say on the website, check your insurance first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's one. And then two, the other question is, some people have said, some experts have said, this might actually cost more money if you go to this website. Have you heard of that at all?
Yeah, I think there's, I don't know about the second point. I'd have to ask our med unit folks on that one. I think on the first point, check your insurance because you maybe have better coverage if you did it through insurance than trying to pay out of pocket. Maybe you don't. So this is a way to potentially give yourself options.
Gotcha. Does the government make any money off this? Is there a VIG on there or some type of service charge on top of it?
I don't know how. I don't think so because I don't think that you're not buying it through this website. It's taking you to somewhere else.
Gotcha. Karen Travers, thoughts on the Super Bowl?
I like the Seahawks. My good friend and colleague is a Seattle fan, and as an Eagles fan, we just cannot root for the Patriots.
It's a lot of people saying that this morning. Yeah. All right, good. All right, we'll see how it all turns out. Have a good weekend, Karen.
Monday.
You got
Thanks,
it.
You too.
Karen Travers, ABC News here. So they don't like the Patriots in New England, in Philadelphia. They don't like them in Washington, D.C. It's tough being a Patriots fan. It is tough being a Patriots fan because it doesn't square with the, oh, shucks, we're the lovable losers, the whole world's against us, New England vibe.
When was that the case?
Before the Patriots won their 16 Super Bowls and before the Red Sox won their Super Bowl, Boston was known as the lovable losers.
Right.
And we always got close, and the ball went through Bill Buckner's legs, and we went to Game 7 with the Cardinals, and so they hadn't won since,
this was
1918.
30 years ago.
Oh,
they're shaking that off in the last 2 decades.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be 60 years old, so I have a little bit of experience more than, back in the day, it was the lovable losers and, why, oh, why, and all I want to see is my team win, and isn't that why are we such losers, and we haven't won since the curse of the Bambino.
Yeah, now they got 6 Super Bowls, 3 World Series.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
couple Stanley Cups,
and now they are insufferable fans that everybody hates.
2 NBA titles too in there.
Right,
in there, Celtics.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, although the Celtics were never bad. That was bucking the trend. But you're not an NBA guy.
Well, I'm not an NBA guy because
I mean, they won in the 60s, the 70s, the
I
80s.
was upset the Knicks couldn't trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I was upset that they didn't get him.
Yeah, Giannis.
Giannis, what did I say?
Giannis.
Whatever.
G is
Well,
silent.
that's how they say it in South County.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I wonder how they would say it in South County. I don't think it would be.
I got the last name right, didn't I?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, the Greek freak.
Yeah.
That guy's awesome.
There's just so many syllables in that last name.
Mix in a couple of vowels, man. Holy mackerel. All right, 6:57 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, an accident on 64 West at Shoto and Boyle is causing a stop and go back up to Grand. 270 North is heavy from Manchester to just south of 64. And one construction note, northbound lanes of 270 near 64 will shift for construction again tonight. Crews will close up to 2 additional northbound lanes on 270 near 64 overnight, starting at 8 p.m. this evening, progressing to 10 p.m. and ending at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, coming up next hour, what do we got going on here? Next hour, we are going to be checking in with Caleb Silver, the markets. We'll do that 7:35. Also, Mark Moser, a long-time, well-respected employee here at the Big 550 KTRS. He's been here longer than I have, and I've been here a long time. He hasn't been here as long as David Solomon, but he's been here a long time. Before he was working for the Big 550 KTRS, he was apparently the Babe Ruth of soccer, and he is getting his jersey retired. True story. B. Halls on Highway K in St. Charles, the legendary B. Halls. You walk in, and there's a big framed jersey of Daryl Duran. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. It's like, where's Moser's? And I got a blank stare. So I've personally been boycotting B. Halls until they put the Moser jersey up. Every time I go, I'm like, I'm not coming back until you put the Moser jersey up. And then the next time I go, it's still not there. So my own personal boycott with B. Halls continues. Every time I go, I'm like, hey, where's the Moser thing? But no, Moser's a good guy, and he's going to have his jersey retired this weekend, and we're all pretty proud of him. So we're going to talk to him coming up next hour. And then Will Gann's got some movies. Johnny Londoff's going to be along. Dan Zarlenga is going to talk about the Eagles, not the football team, the actual bird. And we'll take your phone calls in our number, well, in the 9 o'clock hour. Bowen Dental Care, Boain. How are the teeth holding up? You take that swig of soda or cold, and oh man, that shock goes through your body. Got a problem with your teeth, and that's where Dr. Bowen can help out. Whether it's a root canal, a cavity, teeth whitening, maybe a bite down on a hard candy and the tooth cracks. Oh man, been there. Bowen will help you out, whether it's an implant or something like a root canal or whatever else. Bowen Dental Care. Invisalign for the kids, Invisalign for you. 2 locations, South County, Lee May Ferry Road, and on Dunn Road, just on the street from Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Bowen, Dr. Velvet Hands, and he's been dubbed that for a reason. Go see for yourself. Boain, Bowen Dental Care, or simply securedentures.com.
The home of ABC News. KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. The whole key is proof of life. That's what law enforcement officials are saying about the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie and speculation about whether she is still alive. The brother of Savannah Guthrie, Cameron, issuing another appeal last night.
We have to know that you have our mom. We went to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
ABC's Aaron Katursky in Tucson says investigators are looking more deeply into ransom notes sent to several news organizations, and officials have now presented a timeline for when Guthrie is believed to have been abducted.
She had dinner and game night Saturday evening at her daughter Annie's nearby home, arriving by Uber. Police interviewed the driver. The family brought her home just before 10 p.m. 4 hours later, at 1:47 a.m., a doorbell camera was disconnected. At 2:12, a Nest camera detected a possible intruder, but was not set up to record images. At 2:28, Nancy's pacemaker app disconnected from her phone, which was left behind in the house.
The family urging whoever is responsible to reach out. First, the Kennedy Center, now Penn Station. President Trump apparently wants his name on some pretty big transportation facilities. Here's ABC News Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl.
Two sources familiar with a conversation that President Trump had with Senate Leader Chuck Schumer last month tell me that Trump told Schumer that he'd be willing to unfreeze $16 billion in funding for a major infrastructure project in New York if Schumer would agree to rename New York's Penn Station and Washington's Dulles Airport after Donald Trump.
The same sources say Senator Schumer rejected the idea. Democrats in Congress and Republicans have another week to iron out reforms to ICE before funding runs out for the Department of Homeland Security. Oman mediating indirect talks on nuclear programs between Iran and the U.S. This is ABC News.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
.37 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. The first bill of the year is approved by the Missouri House. House members approved a bill yesterday that would require life-saving measures to be provided for a baby born alive after a failed abortion. Under the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Act, abortion providers could face the death penalty if malpractice is discovered. Meanwhile, Susan Klein, the executive director for Missouri Right to Life, is responding to the passage of this bill. Klein issued a statement which reads in part, quote, Missouri Right to Life applauds the Missouri House for passing legislation that will ensure that babies born alive after an abortion attempt receive the same care as a baby born through the natural process. We thank the sponsors, Representatives Brian Seitz and Holly Jones, for bringing this life-saving legislation forward for debate and passage, end quote. St. Louis residents affected by last May's tornado will get 2 more weeks to apply for private property assistance. City officials say the deadline to submit an application has been extended to February 28th. Eligible residents can receive up to $50,000 for repair work, demolitions, and debris removal related to the devastating tornado. You can apply online at app.stlrecovers.com or in person at the STL Recovers Outreach Center. State Representative Charlie Myers is sponsoring legislation this spring that would require the Illinois Department of Transportation to collaborate with the state fire marshal to establish guidelines for building and repairing roads in a way that makes it easier for firefighter vehicles to turn and access roads during emergencies, potentially by including features like turnarounds on new or rebuilt roads. The bill would amend the Department of Transportation law of the Civil Administrative Code of Illinois by requiring the Department of Transportation to work with the state fire marshal to develop best practices when constructing or reconstructing roadways to accommodate firefighter vehicles and turning and accessing roadways for emergencies. Renovations are planned for St. Louis's Keener Plaza. The city is partnering with the Gateway Arch Park Foundation and Great Rivers Greenway on the project. Improvements will include new pavers, shade structures, and additional lighting. The work is scheduled to begin on February 9th. The plaza will remain open throughout the process. And Missouri is seeing a rise in the number of initial unemployment claims. The Missouri Department of Labor reports there were just over 6,700 initial claims filed during the week ending on January 30th. That marks an increase of more than 2,800 claims from the previous week. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved ones you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. You can send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. 37 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right, coming up, what do we got going on here? We've got Caleb in the half hour, talk about the markets, and Moser with his jersey. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, that is the exact reason they don't want to put Moser's jersey up at B. Hall's. They don't want you to come back, you idiot.
Where's B. Hall's?
Get a clue, Sherlock. Hey, McGraw has no clue who is retiring Moser's number. Yeah, it's the soccer team. It's the ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When will he want to rename the USA the United States of Trump? You know it's going to happen sooner rather than later. There was a story that Donald Trump said to Chuck Schumer, I'll give you your money for your $1 billion infrastructure project as soon as you name Penn Station Trump Station and Dulles Airport Trump Airport. That story came out last night. Chuck Schumer said, I'll take it under advisement, and said, I don't think so. So anyway, 7:07 here, Big 550 KTRS. Listen to this story. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Remember when we talked about driverless cars and women keep saying, I'd much rather take an Uber with a driverless car than Uber drive with an actual driver?
Yes.
Phoenix, Arizona, yesterday, there was a trial where a woman sued Uber. She got into her car. She was at her boyfriend's house. She had too much to drink, and she called Uber. She got into the Uber, and the Uber drove her home. While on the way home, he pulls into a dark parking lot and does some terrible things to her. She sues. Yesterday, the jury came back and gave her $8.5 million. Now, here's the interesting thing. Uber's argument was, this is terrible, but we shouldn't be liable. He's not an employee. He's an independent contractor. And the jury said, sorry, not good enough. Even though you took some precautions for safety, it wasn't enough. And the jury awarded her $8.5 million. Now, here are the effects of all of this. Apparently, there are more than 3,000 pending sexual assault and sexual misconduct lawsuits that accuse Uber of the same thing. They think this is a test case that says, oh, my goodness, this is sort of a roadmap to sort of see what happens with these other ones, sort of a test case. Here's the other interesting thing about this. Uber is going to appeal and say, right, they're going to take it all the way up and see what happens. But the driver has been banned from Uber. Makes sense. But he's never been charged with a crime. And his name wasn't mentioned in the lawsuit. So this driver is still walking around.
So why?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the strangest reading this story about this case yesterday. She reported the incident to the police and to Uber. They barred him, but the driver did not face criminal charges and was not named in the suit. For whatever reason, they didn't have enough evidence to go after him. Who knows? But it seems like that would be the first thing you do is arrest the guy. No one's disputing she was assaulted.
Well, so then would it be up to Uber then to turn the guy in or give the, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was Uber and I had to pay, I just lost a judgment.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because that's insane. Because then obviously was it more important that she had the money or that the person doesn't do it again to somebody else?
She called the police. And she called Uber. It's out of her hands once that happens.
But I mean, simply because his name was not revealed that they can't, because I just been sued for sexual harassment.
I'm sure Uber knows his name. I'm sure the police know his name.
So they can't.
But they're protecting the guilty, I guess. But I guess his name didn't matter in the lawsuit. It didn't matter what the driver's name was. I'm suing Uber. But ancillary to this, the guy's walking around free. It's a crazy story.
So it'd almost be like the lawyers would encourage her to sue Uber as opposed to him.
Well, you're not going to sue him. You criminally charge him.
Well, you charge him, right? Like my point is, then it's more about the money than it is about.
She doesn't charge people. The police charge
No,
people.
I know, but she was involved in the lawsuit, and if she knows that the person that assaulted her is not being charged or found guilty in any way, shape, or form, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just okay. He's out there driving other.
I understand that, but that's not her fault. That's like saying, how come the Epstein women aren't charging Epstein? I mean, she can't charge him with a crime. She called the police. She did what she was supposed to do. It's the police who have to ask the question and be asked the question, why aren't you charging this man? It's the craziest story I've ever read. Not to mention now Uber says, look, 99.9% of our drivers are great. Okay, but you have hundreds of thousands of millions of rides every day. How often is this happening? Which leads us back to where we started. This was women say, I'd much rather get in a cab or an Uber without a driver than an Uber with a driver. Yeah. Crazy stuff. 712 here, Big 550 KTRS. They're calling it a bellwether case. The jury ordered the Uber to pay $8.5 million, who said she was assaulted back in 2023. What an unbelievable story. Hey, let's talk Altair Travel and Cruises, because Heidi announced she's going to Iceland. And then you got Ward on Wine. He's going to the Danube River with a whole bunch of wine bottles, and that's gonna be a fun trip because that guy knows his wine. That guy knows his stuff. So it'll be a whole lot of fun. You want to go down to wherever? You want to go down to the Cardinal Cruise? Well, they're back from the Cardinal Cruise, so you got to talk about next year. But what about spring training? What about South America? Wherever you want to go. Altair Travel and Cruises can handle all the details. How about a nice trip to Hawaii? That should be fun. Altair Travel and Cruises, they handle all of it. Alaska, yeah, they have a great pipeline to sending people to Alaska. Look, here's the deal. They've been doing this a long time, and the travel agency sure has changed over the years. And now it's about these sort of trips, these group trips. So if you want to join one of their group trips, or you want a group trip of your own, or get one together, group trip can be 10, 12 people. Right, a big family wants to take a trip, whatever it may be. Altair Travel and Cruises, you handle the fun. They'll handle all the work, the transfers, the planes, the hotels, the tickets to wherever you want to go see, right? That's how you do it. So when you go, you can actually do something and see something, whether it's a tour guide or the tickets. You don't want to spend all day trying to get into the Sistine Chapel. You want to get in, see it, and then have a guide to see what you're talking about, and then get out. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle that. You handle the fun. Altair Travel, 314-968-9600 or altairtravel.com.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
We're tracking highs back towards the upper 40s this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Into Saturday, looking cooler thanks to an overnight passing dry cold front. Highs back towards the mid-30s, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're back on a warming trend. Highs towards the lower 50s, mostly sunny. Monday and Tuesday of next week, temperatures back towards the lower 60s. But Tuesday, we're going to start to see an increase for the potential for some showers. That'll last all the way through next Saturday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Now is the perfect time to fall in love with your next home. First Community has a home loan that is perfect for you. Our Smart Choice Home Loan is a 30-year fixed-rate loan with a great rate. And with a 10% down payment, you won't have to pay for private mortgage insurance. It's home buying made easy at First Community. $1 share deposit required. Must qualify for membership. Loan subject to credit approval. Rate, terms, and conditions subject to change without notice. MLS ID number 684198.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs. like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
Gilmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gilmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty every Sunday afternoon at 1. Powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Lang. Join me for Animal Talk every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
It's 7:17 here, Big 550 KTRS. The Olympics are upon us, and you know what is a cool sport to watch? And I can't believe I'm saying this. There was a story in wherever I read it yesterday about Jessie Diggins. She is. Have you seen this woman? She is the American, and she's a cross country skier. And it was her workout regimen, which was just insane. And so, have you watched?
It feels like it wouldn't be a big spectator sport.
No, in like Norway, it's like the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's like yeah,
yeah.
They're talking about the big skiing event,
right?
This weekend.
Yeah, no, yeah. Right. And so, but the cross country skiing in the Olympics is so cool to watch. These people. I mean, talk about destroying your body. They just go all out, and it's up the hill, down the hill, right? They got a course, and they go around and around, and it's I don't know.
Have you ever done it?
Cross-country skiing?
Yeah.
No.
It's awful.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
No, it's.
I don't know why anyone would ever do this.
And these people, they were talking about her workout regimen, and it's like she walks up mountains every day. It was just bonkers. And then, have you ever seen the biathlon where it's cross-country skiing and then shooting?
That's the one with the gun. Yeah,
yeah, the shooting where you got the little. It's not skeet shooting. It's
like a little air gun. It's not even like a full-on.
Well, but you have to hit a small little target though.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not gunpowder.
Oh, I don't know what.
I don't think it's gunpowder.
Is it a bullet of some kind?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it would hurt, but I don't think it.
Yeah, well, you have to hit the target.
yeah, it's accuracy.
Yeah.
And they ski with it on their back.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you have to carry that thing.
Yeah, that came from apparently World War II when they had like ski patrols, like skiing down the Alps, like soldiers, where you had to ski and then bring your gun with you.
Your musket.
Yeah, and so it's all about getting your body right, not wheezing and breathing. You have to calm your body down to then be able to then shoot, and then you have to ramp it up again, and then you have to calm it down. It's nuts, right?
I like curling. I like the curling.
Curling's fun.
I don't know. Every 4 years, I realize, you know what? I kind of like the curling, and I forget about
it. Curling is fun.
The U.S. had that big win. Well, you watch the Olympics.
Like, are there any schools offering curling?
Born in Canada, I assume.
Yeah, curling's more northern. I don't know if any. I don't know
if you
can get any NIL money for curling, but
it's kind of aspirational. Like, you and I could be on the Olympic curling team if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
like if we were good enough, there's nothing stopping us.
Right, you don't have to be a world class athlete.
I don't need to be a world class athlete to be a world class curler.
To be a world class athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cross country, I'll watch the cross country all day long. Even the skiing, I like watching the skiing. I think the skiing's cool. Remember was it Al Troutwig who used to do the skiing?
Like the downhill.
Barry Tompkins. Remember Barry Tompkins, the announcer, Barry Tompkins? Oh, my goodness, he'd do it. And he's just, they were, I don't know, they just sort of had that, I don't know what it was. They just had that voice for the skiing. And then, of course, you guys are too young, but ABC's Wide World of Sports, they took all of these Olympic sports and weird sports, and then they'd air them on a Saturday or a Sunday. Mm-hmm. It was fantastic. You were exposed to all sorts of stuff you wouldn't normally see.
I remember that.
Skiing, curling.
Skiing, curling. They do auto racing. They do bull riding. They do, cliff diving. They did all sorts of things.
Was that like Bryant Gumbel, Wide World of Sports?
No, that was Jim McKay, spanning the globe to bring you a constant variety of sports. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. That's fantastic.
Did you see that Lindsey Vonn video?
The one where she got hurt? Or
no, the one how she's like working out.
Oh, she's insane too.
With this torn ACL.
Yeah, she's got a torn ACL and she's going to compete.
Yeah, but she posted this video of her workout routine, and she's like, with the torn ACL, she's jumping around, she's lifting weights. It's like, what? How is that even possible?
Then
is the ACL not as important as I've been led to believe?
It stabilizes the knee, but if you've got other things to stabilize,
I guess if I just wrap it real tight,
I mean, she's got it wrapped, right?
Go. I don't know. I mean, guess
in the video that you watched,
she's got pants on.
You guys are too young to remember. Maybe you would, but there was a filmmaker. His name was Bud Greenspan, and he since has passed away. But you might remember the face. He looked like Kojak. He had a face, big old round glasses, completely bald on top, and he'd wear his glasses on top of his bald head. He was a filmmaker. And Bud Greenspan, after the Olympics, made Olympic movies. But it wasn't the champions who did it, right? He didn't profile the champions. He profiled the runner from Ethiopia who had to travel 6 years on horseback to get to Mexico City to perform his lifelong love, which was the long jump, right? And you were like, you'd watch this thing and you're like, I watched all the Olympics. I didn't know about this guy. And he found these sort of stories that no one ever heard of, and he turned these. You were like, this is the spirit of the Olympics. That guy was fantastic. Bud Greenspan and then the narrator had this very monotone voice, and he would talk about the 10,000 meters in Mexico City. He had his voice was just so soothing, and you'd watch this thing and you'd riveted by it. And it was that was the best part of the Olympics, was watching Bud Greenspan do his retrospective on the, on the Mexico City Olympics or whatever. He has since passed away. But the reason why I thought of it was that classic Lindsey Vonn, right? I mean, she has no chance to win. She has no ACL. 3 days before the competition, she falls and hurts her knee again, but she's still, she wants to compete for the sheer.
Well, she doesn't have no chance to win, right?
Oh, I think I don't think she's.
You don't think that's. I mean, she was winning all these events before, right?
Yeah, but I think she's going to compete, but I think that the injury has really sort of knocked her out of contention. Right. I don't know. Maybe she does. If she does, it'll be the greatest story in the history of mankind.
But she's going to be in so much pain when she's older. I mean, I can't help but think, her knee's wrecked.
She's going to have a new knee, I guess, right?
Still, it's going to be
wrap it up real tight, apparently. The ACL is not necessary, apparently.
It's necessary.
Rose is saying just stabilize
You don't need the
ACL
to ski down a mountain?
I don't know. Apparently, you don't need it to jump around and lift weights and all that she's doing, but I thought you would have needed to do that.
Yeah.
But
I go back to this story. Dawn Harper here in East St. Louis, track star, won the gold medal. This is Olympics a couple years ago. And a week later, somebody said, Dawn Harper's in town. Do you want to interview her? Sure. She walked in here, and I talk about a burst of energy. And she was wearing she had her gold medal. And I was like, where's your gold medal? And she's like, right here. Do you want to wear it? I was like, no, I don't want to wear it. She's like, no, wear it. Don't wear it. I was like, no, I don't want to. She's like, no, I want it for everybody. Here, try it. Look at it. all she wanted to do was share this gold medal with anybody she had come in contact with. The nicest person you'd ever meet, Don Harper. Someone ever asked me my favorite interviews of all time. Don Harper, gold medalist from St. Louis, was just, the whole spirit of the Olympics was all balled up right in with her when she walked in the studio.
Did you put the medal on?
I did not put the medal on.
Why?
Because I felt it was disrespectful to the medal. And to her.
It's her
Did
medal.
you hold it?
I did hold it. I did look at it. I did fondle it. I might have even taken a picture. I did not bite it. But no,
So
I did not.
wearing it was disrespectful, but fondling it was...
Well, fondling it. I mean, I wasn't like lovingly making love to it. I looked at it and examined it and...
Is this like a Stanley Cup thing where you're not supposed to touch the cup unless you've won it?
I don't know what the rules are for an Olympic medal.
Okay.
But I didn't wear it because I felt it was disrespectful to the whole process. I didn't win it. I shouldn't put it on.
My view is it was her medal at that point. She can do with it what she will, including offering for you to try it on.
I'm not saying how dare you try on the medal. You asked me, did I wear it? I said no.
I'm just trying to get
I
insights
didn't.
into the mind of McGraw
I
and
just
Millhaven
felt
here.
it was disrespectful.
All right.
I'm not saying how dare you wear somebody else's medal. I'm saying I didn't feel comfortable wearing that medal. That's all. Connor's wrapped up into the trap. Anyway. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, there's a curling club in Fairview Heights.
All right.
I love curling 12 ounces if I'm feeling very Olympic, like when I go over a heavier glass, 12 ounces for curling. Biathlon racers use a .22 caliber rifle, real gunpowder, and bullets. Thank you very much. I love Leon Russell. Don't hear him near enough. And we'll leave you with this one. You're so indignant. Do you think the police can force a victim to testify? Do a little research on the case. See if you can get it right. Talking about the Uber woman, the Uber woman. Look, all I said was
No, was it me? Maybe we should talk because I was not trying to blame just thinking it's really bizarre that you would that he's not being charged.
She called the police and she was forthcoming enough to want to sue Uber. And maybe she didn't want to press charges on the guy.
Point. Yeah, and it's none of my business. I'm not trying to blame her or anything. I'm just saying that just seems really strange that the person that's at the crux of this, who clearly committed
that's what I said.
felony, is not being, but yet she would.
I find it odd that she wouldn't want to press charges yet want to sue Uber. That seems odd to me. Maybe that's what she wanted to do. Maybe the police didn't have enough because they didn't have a willing witness. That's a legitimate reason not to charge him with anything. But he wasn't charged, and no one knows his name. I thought was an odd fact in a story which she sues Uber. Now this guy's still walking around. We weren't making any value judgments or shaming any victim. Whoa. Maybe it's me. Maybe I need more sleep. 7:29 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, an accident on 64 West at Choteau and Boyle has been moved to the shoulder and is causing a backup past Vandeventer. Estimated clearance time is 7:55. There's a crash on 270 North before 64, causing congestion back to Manchester, and the estimated clearance time there is 7:50. This traffic report is brought to you by the HBR Home Expo. Got home projects on your mind? Head to the HBR Home Expo, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. Meet hundreds of experts. Enjoy hands-on DIY Kokedama classes, plus free admission and free parking. The HBR Home Expo. Everything for your home, all in one place. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Today, the temperature is going to be in the 40s, 48 officially. Overnight tonight, low of 24. Then listen to this. Tomorrow, high of 37. Sunday, the warm-up begins. 54 on Sunday, 60 on Monday, 68 on Tuesday. No rain anywhere in the forecast. 40 right now at 7:30. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Russian and U.S. negotiators discussed the expiration of the last remaining nuclear arms pact between the two countries and agreed on the need to quickly launch new arms control talks. The New START treaty terminated Thursday, leaving no caps on the two largest atomic arsenals for the first time in more than half a century, and fueling fears of an unconstrained nuclear arms race. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says Democrats' demands for new restrictions on federal immigration offers are unrealistic, and he's warning that the Department of Homeland Security will shut down next week if Democrats don't work with Republicans and the White House. In local headlines, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen will consider a proposed ordinance today which calls for adding new costs for short-term rentals. On Wednesday, an aldermanic committee advanced Bill 126, which would require operators to obtain a city business license and pay a 3% fee on rent charged. And the Illinois Gaming Board is taking action to end illegal online casinos. The IGB and the Illinois Attorney General's office have issued more than 60 cease and desist letters to entities accused of operating illegal online casino and online sweepstakes gaming platforms in Illinois. 39 degrees. Time now is 7:31. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deal.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. I'm combating wintertime blues by purchasing cool cars and motorcycles. Do you have a unique, low-mile, or super clean car you'd like to sell? Call me. I'm looking for Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, Harleys, Ducatis, Porsches, or anything super low-mile and super clean. Even everyday cars if they're exceptionally nice and well cared for. I'll come to you if you're in the St. Louis area, especially if you have more than one vehicle to sell. It's okay if you have a loan on it. We'll make the payoff. We make it easy. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. We'll take it from there.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
St. Louis County Library is celebrating Black history with special programs for all ages in February. This year's theme is exploring 100 years of Black St. Louis. Events include performances by the Black Rep, a jazz concert, a gospel celebration, author events, historical lectures, and more. You can find a full list of programs at slcl.org/black-history-celebration.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, Heidi here for my friends at Premier U. Valentine's Day is about love, but let's be real. Doing health alone is hard. At Premier U, couples are losing weight together and actually sticking with it, because when your partner's in, excuses are out. And right now, couples can save when they start together. This Valentine's, skip the candy hearts and choose something better, your health. Together. Learn more and book your consultation at premierumed.com. Premier U, because accountability is the real love language.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon, right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
Waiting for Caleb Silver to join us, reading the story about this Jessie Diggins, the cross-country skier for the U.S. This is what she went through last Olympics. She's 38 years old. She's won the American gold, but then last time she crossed the finish line 1 hour and 26 minutes, 37 seconds, nearly a minute ahead of the bronze medalist, which made her the first non-European to medal in the event. She collapsed. Her skis split, face in the snow, a marionette whose strings had been cut. Her eyes were open, contacts frozen to her eyeballs. Crazy stuff. Caleb Silver joins us, ABC News, and also editor-in-chief of Investopedia. Good morning, Caleb Silver.
Good to be with you.
No numbers today, right?
No jobs report for the month of January, delayed by the federal government due to the partial government shutdown. But we're getting plenty of anecdotal data about the labor market, and it doesn't look great. We had over 100,000 layoffs in the month of January, a lot of that from a couple of big companies, including UPS and Amazon. But still, that feels a weak. And also, just the private payroll numbers are not growing very strongly at all. Only 22,000 added, week in, week out in the last month as well. So we're not even above the replacement rate for the labor market, and that has a lot of people concerned that maybe the economy is not as strong as the headline numbers are indicating.
Okay, so let's talk about this new trade, this new phenomenon on Wall Street calling Sell America. What does that mean, and what's going on there?
Well, you've been hearing this more and more, and you heard it really accelerate during Davos when the president demanded that Denmark sell Greenland to the United States. And then you had a big sell-off in the stock market there, and also concerns about potential Fed independence, given the president's nomination recently of Kevin Warsh and moves he's made against the Federal Reserve. So you're seeing a big sell-off in U.S. assets, namely the dollar, right? The dollar is about 12-13% down just since they took office, the Trump administration, and also U.S. Treasuries. That's got people concerned, which is why you saw so many people flock to gold. But the sell-off in U.S. stocks has by outside investors has definitely been accelerating. That said, the U.S. stock market has really been the game in town.
Yeah, okay. So you mentioned gold is up. Crypto is way down. I think it's lost, maybe half of its ultimate value. What's going on with crypto?
Yeah, well, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are the ultimate risk asset. And in times of uncertainty, when you see this volatility around the other widely held assets like stocks, like gold, like the dollar, nobody wants to hold anything that's risky and not backed by anything physical, which is why you saw gold rally so much over the past couple of years. Uncertainty about the economy and how things are going to shake out, especially under this administration, as they really turn the global economy upside down. So lately, you've seen this big sell-off. You've seen a big sell-off by institutional investors. There was a lot of leveraged people who had been buying Bitcoin and had to sell it at a certain price. If it fell a certain amount, they had to sell out, and even uncertainty about the future of legislation around things like the Clarity Act, which has not been passed yet, which would give the government a little bit more oversight over cryptocurrency. That's uncertain, which is why you've seen the big outflows from Bitcoin and the other major cryptocurrencies.
What is the concern? Right, the tariffs don't seem to be causing the trouble they thought it was going to be. The government's still spending. We're going to be getting our tax returns, which are the tax cuts. We're going to have a whole lot of stimulus in the economy. What are people worried about?
Yeah, people are worried about geopolitical uncertainty. They're worried about things like the devaluation of the dollar. They're worried about frothiness in the stock market. Consumer sentiment is at a multi-year low, even though we continue to spend. So we're not feeling that great about things. The headline numbers will tell you things look better than the way we feel, but people don't live in headline numbers. They live week in, week out, paycheck to paycheck, and they're feeling uncertainty, whether they've seen or know someone who's lost their job, or they're worried about their own job, or they're worried about, the AI bubble or AI coming to take our jobs. There's just a lot of uncertainty around this period of very kind of turbulence across the capital markets.
Caleb Silver, we'll leave it there, short on time. Thanks for checking in on a busy morning.
Thank you.
You got it. Caleb Silver, ABC News contributor, editor-in-chief of Investopedia. Bitcoin got all the way down to like 60,000 yesterday. It bounced back a little bit. It's going to open up this morning at 67. Let's see here. What else we got going on? The Dow is down 600 yesterday. It's at 48.9, but still, near record highs with the Dow Jones. So we'll see what happens. All of that. Exxon. Where was Exxon Mobil? Exxon Mobil. Where I had that here somewhere. Gas prices.
How was your portfolio doing? Or do you not want to check?
My portfolio, my offshore accounts.
Your offshore accounts. Are you the type of person to check? Is that? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I check my 401k a lot.
Because whenever Guy Phillips is in here,
yeah,
I feel like he'll always comment. And he pulls out his phone. He's checking. Oh my God, it's down. It's down 2.5% today.
Well, yeah, I'm not in Guy Phillips territory. That's what guys in his league of his own.
But he's a guy he's clearly someone that checks like every day.
Yeah,
he lives and dies with
Well, I think because it's so simple to do, because you have an app on your phone, so you check, whether you got $1 billion in there like Guy or you got, $5 in there like me. You still want to check just because it's kind of fun to check, right? It's a form of gambling, in a sense, right? I mean, you're watching the game.
Stressful. Seems like a really stressful thing to be doing all the time.
I have a large position in SoFi.
Really?
Yeah, large.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah,
that was doing pretty well.
Like cornered the market. Yeah, SoFi's down.
SoFi. You go to the investor meetings.
I'm the SoFi king. Yeah. I have a hedge fund of SoFi. Yeah, no, it was up, and now everything's tanking now. Everything's got a huge position in SoFi.
Those are in the offshore accounts.
Those are in the Caymans.
Those in the Caymans.
Those are in the Caymans. Yeah, no. But I mean, because when I was a kid, you'd look at the newspaper, and every 6 months you'd see newspaper. Oh, hey, how's my stock doing? And you'd pull out the stocks from the newspaper, and you'd look at it, and then you wouldn't look at it again for those 6 months.
But even back then, if you really cared, they would have those numbers every day, right? Like,
well, but for the
Wall Street guys,
if you were in it,
yeah.
But if you were like, somebody bought me, I don't know, like some Exxon stock. My grandfather had some Exxon stock, and somebody bought me Exxon stock as a Christmas present one year or something.
Did you have the actual paper stock that you would put in the safe?
No, they never sent me that. Okay. No, I would get like a statement every quarter or something. But it was like 3 shares or 4 shares or something ridiculous.
Right.
But it was, you wouldn't. There was no way to check it. You had to, you didn't have a paper handy, or you just didn't, you just didn't have access to it the way you have it now. So you end up watching it. It's a form of, Twitter. It's, teenagers go to their Instagram account. Guy Phillips goes to his money market account. Yeah, it's the same.
Social media for
it's the same thing. Retirees. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's and I love these senior citizens, right? They're invalids when it comes to Instagram, right? Oh, I don't know, this newfangled thing, whatever. You ask them to check their stocks, they know exactly how to do it. They know exactly where to go on their phone to get their stock portfolio. But you ask them to Photoshop whatever. I don't know how to do this. Program their VCR. They don't know. But if you check your stock portfolio, they know exactly how to do that. 7:45 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, a single vehicle accident on 64 West at Choteau and Boyle has been moved to the shoulder, but is causing a backup past Vandeventer. The estimated clearance time is about 10 minutes from now. 270 North is bumper to bumper at Doherty Ferry and remains heavy to Manchester. And 55 North is heavy around Bayless, but thins out by Carondelet. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
We're tracking highs back towards the upper 40s this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Into Saturday, looking cooler thanks to an overnight passing dry cold front. Highs back towards the mid-30s, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're back on a warming trend. Highs towards the lower 50s, mostly sunny. Monday and Tuesday of next week, temperatures back towards the lower 60s. But Tuesday, we're going to start to see an increase for the potential for some showers. That'll last all the way through next Saturday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Mark Moser and his mullet from the 80s will be in here in mere moments to talk about his big weekend where he becomes part of the St. Louis Ambush Hall of Fame. We'll get into that with him in mere moments. Morelli Tuck Pointing. John Morelli, the president and the owner, family-run business. Very smooth running and couldn't be any easier to get a hold of. Call them, and they'll if they don't pick up, they'll call you back, and then they'll schedule you, and you come out, and they'll come out and take a look at whatever it is that needs to be done. Tuck pointing, right? It's chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, anything brick or stone that needs repair, residential, commercial, yeah, they're there. Don't get caught up in anything else other than the customer service and the price. Morelli, great pricing and great customer service. They'll send you pictures of everything, right? You don't want to get up on the roof and look at the brick line up there, right? You don't want to do that. They'll send you pictures, and then, of course, they'll get it done, and they'll get it done right. Morelli. Then when you pay, it can't be any easier. You do it through the website. Thank you, no muss, no fuss. It's great price, great customer service. It's a family-run business, third generation of Masons. Morelli, for all of your tuck pointing needs, 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing, embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
Hey, it's Heidi Glaus, and I'm inviting you to join me October 23rd as we journey in search of Iceland's magical northern lights with Colette. And now we've added an extra night. We'll experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the northern lights. Of course, it's one of nature's most dazzling light displays. We're going to see the steaming lava fields, the massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys. Don't forget the thundering waterfalls. We're going to travel the Golden Circle and walk on the black volcanic sand beach, plus relax in the warm, mineral-rich water of the Blue Lagoon. This and so much more. Here's what's awesome. Colette handles all the deets, from flight, meals, hotels, and even those fun local experiences. Your only job is to join me and have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more Wednesday, February 11th at 6 at the Altair Travel Living Room. You can RSVP by calling our friends at Altair 314-968-9600 or go to our website KTRS.com to learn more.
It's February, and we all know what happens in February, Valentine's Day. Instead of hitting the expensive spots that limit selections and hike up prices, consider spending the evening or morning in the casual comfort of Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Why make Valentine's a nighttime thing? Gingham's is open 24 hours, and everything on our extensive menu is available day or night. With the weather we've had, there's nothing better than a hearty breakfast or a hot bowl of soup, a great homestyle meal, and a piece of pie to top it off. Make it Gingham's this February, and visit us at ginghamsrestaurant.com.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 4 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, it was a 12-year professional career. The Dayton Dynamos, the Memphis Rogues, the Indiana Kicks, and, of course, the St. Louis Ambush. Mark Moser, what's your official title here?
Local sales manager.
Okay, local sales manager. You've been here a long time.
I've been here 28 years.
Holy mackerel. Walked in the door 28 years ago. Who's this new guy? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know me, we go back and forth all the time. I don't know anything about soccer, and I love the fact that, like, you're like the Babe Ruth of soccer.
Wow.
And I'm like, really? Moser's the Babe Ruth of soccer? Really?
Well, I don't know about the Babe Ruth of soccer, but...
the Stan Musial? The Yogi Berra?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just was fortunate, had a great career, and was really fortunate to be able to do it here in St. Louis for the bulk of my career.
Yeah.
Which, most people don't get a chance to play a professional sport in their hometown with their family and friends, and that was special.
It seems like that was a pretty neat time to be a soccer player. It seemed, I don't know why, maybe it's just because of my youth, but it seems like it was a little more exciting, a little more out there, a little more rough and tough. I don't know.
Well, and I even kind of missed, the heyday of indoor soccer when the old arena was being filled, when the Steamers were playing in the late 70s, early 80s.
Right.
When they were out drawing everybody in North America except for the Edmonton Oilers and drawing 18,000, I kind of missed that by 6-7 years.
Right.
But, then to come back here and play for the Storm and then the Ambush, and, we did pretty well. And you had some games where you had 17,000. And it was plus the best part was the year we won in 95, 20 of the 22 players were from St. Louis.
Oh, my goodness.
Which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And probably will never happen again.
Yeah.
Now we can't even get a college team to be all guys from one city because they're from all over the world.
Right.
But to have that 20 or 22 guys be from St. Louis and win a championship.
Yeah. Did you play against Steve Jungle?
No. He would retired. I missed him.
Right, because he was an indoor.
He was the Lord of all indoors.
Yeah.
What they called him. And he was incredible.
And indoor was right. The idea of indoor coming along was a little more faster paced, a little more scoring, a little more excitement. That was the idea. Of indoor?
It was. Which it suited me. Over 600 goals. There's just more goals. There's more action. It's basically hockey on turf.
Right.
And it was end-to-end action, and there was tons of shots.
How many goals did you end up scoring?
I think like 622.
Really? That's a lot of goals, man.
And some of them were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
There was some other ones where I always said, but my greatest asset was I knew which players on my team were terrible shots, and I stood at the back post, and when they shot wide, I tapped it in.
The assist king.
Better to be smart than good.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, and the indoor probably suited you better because it was less running too, I would think.
Well, that I like that part of it. But I said I would have loved to have played outdoor, and I would have loved if City would have been here.
Yeah.
And there would have been, but when I got out of college. And the funny story is I got drafted by the Cleveland Force, which was another team that drew really, really well in Cleveland. And at about 1 a.m. at a bar in Champaign, Illinois, I was at the Prairie State Games, just getting out of college, and up on the screen, and it was one of those little tiny TVs that's like 4 inches. It comes up, Cleveland Force folds. That's how I found out that I was moving in 2 weeks, and I find out on the TV at 1 a.m. that they folded.
Oh.
So I made a collect call to the general manager, and he said, yeah, the team folded, and then I wound up going to Dayton and starting my career there.
Yeah. Huh. So, but what about like the New York Cosmos and stuff? Wasn't that sort of around at that time?
That had already ended. The outdoor leagues really had ended at that point.
Okay.
In the late 70s is kind of when the outdoor leagues, which is why in that heyday in the early 80s, all the best players in this country and that had come here to play there, they all shifted to indoor.
Got it.
And it took off, and it kept. And they in the Ambush now here, they play at the Family Arena, and they've had a rough couple years, but this year they've actually come back, and it's a great, fun, exciting thing for families to come watch.
Yeah. Did you ever play against or play with Pele?
Nope.
No. Never met him.
He was done. I did meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've met him a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean those. I'm not quite that old.
Yeah. All right. Good. All right. So Saturday night, hanging your number from the rafters. It's a pretty neat deal, man. You excited? You nervous?
Yeah. Not nervous, but I mean it's pretty special.
Yeah.
When you think of all of the players that played indoor soccer here, and then my number's going to hang up in the rafters next to Daryl Duran, Jamie Swanner, and the late Slobo Ilyevsky.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And you know what? I go to the games all the time. I take my grandson, and he always looks up there and is like, "Who are those guys?" And I'm like, "Well, I played with all three of those guys."
Right. I was better than all three of those guys. How come I'm not up there?
Yeah. So when they met with me last summer to tell me that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is, I'm glad they did it this way. They're doing it on alumni night, so all the past players are going to be there because. I mean, the guys before me, if they wouldn't have done what they did, I wouldn't have had this opportunity.
Yeah.
And my teammates, I mean,
it's always the teammates.
I'm pretty honest about it. My teammates did a hell of a lot more hard work than I did.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of the credit because I was a goal scorer.
Isn't it great? You're going to meet up with your teammates, and it's going to be you're going to be 23 years old again.
Oh, the stories just, I mean.
like you just saw them yesterday, right? You haven't seen them in 10 years, and you.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, that group, especially those 22 guys that won the championship. I mean, we're the only professional sports championship, soccer championship ever in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Was the St. Louis Ambush in 1995.
How about that?
So when that group gets together, the stories. And I mean, the stories we got because, I mean, a lot of times we were traveling by bus, play a game here on a Friday night, get on a bus and drive to Wichita.
Yeah.
There's some pretty fun stuff that happens on those trips. I can't talk about them, though.
We should also mention that this month you became a grandfather 2 more times?
Yeah, I had this past 10 days has been a whirlwind. I've had 2 more granddaughters, so now I have 4 grandchildren, and they're all healthy and happy, and the moms are all doing good. So I'll be at KTRS for another 25, 30 years to help pay for these grandkids.
A well-loved man and a life well lived. Mark Moser, you were here when I got here. God love you. David Solomon was here when you got here, right?
No, David was not here when I got here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the only one left, I think Mark Dorsey would have been here. Well, he was definitely here because he's one who hired me.
Yeah.
And Steve House, our CFO, I think those are the only 2 that are left from the beginning.
Holy mackerel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got it. When's the soccer show?
Soccer show was last night. And thanks to Brendan Weesey, he did a phenomenal tribute to me and reached out to Daryl Duran and Michael Posha and Jamie Swanner and Keith Dozer, who was a guy that I played against. And he also coached against me for years and was my coach when I played for the U.S. team.
Right.
And it was pretty special.
All right, now that you're going to have your number hanging from the rafters at the Family Arena, how can we get your jersey hanging from the rafters of B. Halls?
Well, we're going to have a conversation with them. And you go in there. I mean,
I'm boycotting. I mean, if
I've been in a while because last time I was there, it wasn't up.
Solidarity, buddy.
Yep.
Solidarity. We got to stick together. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go traffic and weather, but we're going to do it on the other side of ABC News. So, Captain Paul Kopsky, hang tight. It is 8 o'clock here on the Big 550. Johnny Londoff in 30 minutes. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
If it's soccer in St. Louis, it's talked about on the soccer voice in St. Louis.
The Big 550.
KTRS.
St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. In Tucson, the search goes on for Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today host Savannah Guthrie, who investigators think was abducted from her home last weekend. ABC's Aaron Katursky is in Tucson with more on the family's latest message.
Savannah Guthrie's brother Cameron with that emotional plea to elicit some response from whoever may have kidnapped their frail and elderly mother.
We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
The family signaled it is willing to talk. Savannah Guthrie posting she just wants her mom back.
Police also investigating ransom notes. President Trump now apparently pushing for his name to be put on two major transit hubs, New York's Penn Station and Washington's Dulles Airport. Sources telling ABC that the president told Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer he wanted that in exchange for freeing up some $16 billion in infrastructure money. ABC Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl.
It's no secret that Donald Trump likes to see big buildings named after himself. Over the past year, he has plastered his name on the Kennedy Center and the U.S. Institute for Peace. And in December, the Navy announced plans for a, quote, Trump class of battleships. Just last night, Trump unveiled a new government website for prescription drugs called Trump RX.
ABC's Rena Roy has more on that.
The president saying consumers can expect big savings on medications used to treat diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. For example, the popular weight loss drug Wegovy will be discounted to about $150 a month, down from an original price of more than $1,300. Although by late last year, some patients were already paying as little as $199 a month.
At least 31 people killed at a Shiite mosque in the capital of Pakistan today. You're listening to ABC News.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
39 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. Family, friends, and the community are preparing to say goodbye to a rideshare driver who was killed in a shooting in Ferguson last week. A celebration of life will be held tomorrow for Shannon O'Brien at Weber and Rodney Funeral Home in Edwardsville. Last Friday, O'Brien was dropping off 3 men at a parking lot off of Wynwood Court. That's when witnesses say the 3 men exited the vehicle and got into a shootout with several other men walking by. O'Brien was hit in the gunfire and died at the scene. Police say O'Brien was not the intended target. So far, there's been no arrests. Anyone with any information should call St. Louis County Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-866-371-TIPS. A Belleville man is accused of photographing more than a dozen women in a library restroom on the campus of Washington University. 30-year-old Dennis Dill has been charged with 15 counts of invasion of privacy. According to a probable cause statement, Dill entered the women's restroom inside the John M. Olin Library on November 19th. Police say he stayed there for approximately 5 hours and photographed several women while they were in a stall. An Illinois legislator is pushing a bill to address what she calls disproportionate rates of HIV/AIDS in the black community. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
Back in the 1980s, St. Louis for AIDS hosted a panel discussion that addressed the issue of AIDS being seen only as a white gay disease, and concluded it was also an epidemic in the black community in St. Louis and East St. Louis from the very beginning. This week in Illinois, State Senator Kimberly Lightford spoke out about her push to help address the issue in disadvantaged communities.
African Americans represent a fraction of Illinois' population, yet we bear a vastly disproportionate burden of new HIV and AIDS cases. Our communities have been asked to fight an epidemic with one hand tied behind our back. Enough is enough.
House Bill 4801 would send $15 million to the African American HIV/AIDS Response Fund each year in order to create a biomedical resource hub that would provide preventative care and other support services. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Housing and dining costs are about to rise at the University of Missouri. The UM System Board of Curators voted yesterday to raise the prices of housing and dining plans at all 4 of its universities starting in fiscal year 2027. And a popular South St. Louis eatery is about to reopen. The new owners of Uncle Bill's say the restaurant is weeks away from reopening. Uncle Bill's closed back in October of 2024 after more than 6 decades in business. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. You can send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. 40 degrees at 8:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the traffic sounder.
I thought you said you were going to call for it.
Oh, all right. How about let's do a little traffic right here. There we go. Uncle Bill's, man, they've been working on that thing for a year now.
It looks amazing, and I'm really excited. They've done. It looks like it's going to be cool.
Yeah, all right.
It's gonna be cool.
That's a legendary spot there, Uncle Bill's.
Yes, it is.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, there's a crash on 64 East past Clarkson, blocking the 2 left lanes with the stop-and-go jam back to Boone's Crossing. There's a crash on 270 North past 55 with a police vehicle blocking the right lane. A single vehicle accident on 64 West at Shoto and Boyle has been moved to the shoulder and is not causing a slowdown. And 270 North is heavy from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, weather for the next couple of days. We've got temperatures are going to warm up here. High today of 48, tomorrow 37. No rain or snow or anything like that in the forecast for the next couple of days. Sunday, we're going to warm up to 54. And then Monday, 60. Tuesday, we're going to be in the upper 60s. Maybe a small chance of rain Tuesday into Wednesday, but that's too far away to sort of worry about it. All right, coming up this hour, we got a busy hour, and then phone calls and everything else next hour. This hour, we've got Will Gans staring us straight in the face. We've got New York and the Muppets, the Burbs, and, of course, the Super Bowl. Johnny Londoff will be along. Dan Zarlinga is going to talk about Eagles, and then what's going to happen on the field. Randy Carricker is going to join us in the 9 o'clock hour to take some phone calls and everything else. Did Mark play with Tom Twillman just for kicks? Yeah, Mark was talking about that on the break. Mark Moser's dad was in charge of that thing. And then can you ask if he played with Slobo? Yes, he played with Slobo. He was just telling us some stories about Slobo. Apparently died too young, and character that he was a great guy. You have money in SoFi. I have pennies in my sofa. Is it me, or does Connor sound like Josh today? Whiny and downer. Harsh.
Thanks for listening,
Connor. Connor got to get his. Is
that harsher on me or Josh?
I don't know.
That's Josh is like that all the time, and I'm just like him today.
Both of you guys are minding your own business, and the text line comes up and slaps you.
Drive by.
There you go. The bear must be smarter than Yogi to write a ransom note. I think the ransom note very easily could be a fake one.
Is there any evidence that it's a animal involvement, or
no,
was that just
a couple
something
of days
you were
ago I said, how come no one's talking about an animal or a javelina or a coyote, which are running wild in the desert in Tucson? And everyone laughed at me because I brought that up. And then yesterday, the police chief, the sheriff, said, we have an image on the doorbell, on the security camera. We don't know who it was or what it was. It could. He's like, it could have been an animal. We just can't tell.
All right.
So I said, since there's no evidence of it, and then people are like, oh, did he dismantle the camera? Well, he could have eaten the camera, right? I mean, it's possible. I
think your theory definitely is plausible. But at this point, though, I just think there'd be much more much more blood evidence. Like I
A
just
lot
feel like
of
an
people
animal
say
would
that,
tear it
but
up.
we don't know how much
Right.
blood evidence.
And like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not. My biggest thing would be but maybe they're just not reporting that there was
Right.
more
I mean, they
carnage
showed that
due to
there
it.
was blood.
Right.
But they have out of. I watched this whole news conference yesterday. Tell us about the house. Can't tell you. How much blood you found? We can't tell you. Well, what discerning facts do you know about the house? Well, we can't tell you that. So they're not telling us much. So for all sorts of reasons, which is legitimate, they'll tell us when we're allowed to know. The other thing about this Savannah Guthrie story is there's a number of people who are looking at this story through a political prism. And what I mean by that is they're forgetting the fact that this is a real family in the middle of a real tragedy on stage for all of us to watch and to be our entertainment. But there are people who are now sort of hedging their bets. I bet you it's a bunch of illegals, right? Or I bet you it's a Trump MAGA crazed, mental health crazed man who saw Savannah and doesn't like her for asking Trump a question, and so they're all trying to put their political spin on a tragedy. And if it turns out to be an undocumented worker who, broke into the house looking for drug money, then that's going to carry then they're all, drug dealing, crazed homicidal maniacs, right? If it turns out to be a MAGA loving, gun loving, mentally unstable person going after the news media, well, that's going to take it off in a whole other angle, right? Oh, they're all. So I mean, it's become now politicized in a sense that I bet you, I say, oh, I think it's a bear, but other people, oh, I think it's a woke, whatever, right? And so it's gone political, and it has become entertainment. While this family sits in a nightmare scenario, and a lot of people look at it as just entertainment.
Well, too, then a lot of people are coming out also noting the fact that this is getting so much attention, whereas people go missing all the time and don't get this kind of attention.
Right, that's what I was saying yesterday.
It's just kind of...
Text line, get your facts straight. He never said there was an image on the camera. He said it could have been a person or an animal or something else. That's what I said.
I feel like that's exactly what you said.
That is exactly what I said.
Okay, we're just making sure. Text line's just making sure.
Yeah, get your facts.
That's exactly what you said.
That is exactly what I said.
Roll the tape back.
But is there they're saying like there's no image of it. So like the camera didn't actually take a picture of anything though. It like set it off, but it didn't catch anything.
They couldn't determine what it was. There was no way to know what it was. There was some type of motion, but they couldn't determine what set it off.
So we know there's
They
motion.
don't know. The guy said it could have been a person. It could have been an animal. I don't know what else it could have been if it's not a person or an animal. I don't know what else it could have been. That's what the guy said. That's what I said, and somehow the text line is all up in my grill for not getting the facts right when I'm basically quoting what the guy said. And the text line's in rare form this morning, or I am. It's 8:13 here, Big 550 KTRS. What's the name of the book author you're interviewing? His name is Julian Barnes. Interviewing him at 11 o'clock this afternoon or this morning. We'll replay it sometime next week. All right, check in with Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Captain Paul.
McGraw crash on 64 East past Clarkson is blocking the two left lanes with the stop-and-go jam back to Boone's Crossing. The estimated clearance time is 8:40. There's a crash on 270 North past 55 with the tow truck blocking the right lane. And on 64 West at Choteau and Boyle, they're working to tow a vehicle involved in an accident that's blocking the right lane. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. The Rack House has made Whiskey Advocate magazine's top whiskey bars in the country list for the third time. The Rack House in Cottleville averages over 300 whiskey, bourbon, and Scotch selections on its menu. The Rack House, featuring upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
We're tracking highs back towards the upper 40s this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Into Saturday, looking cooler thanks to an overnight passing dry cold front. Highs back towards the mid-30s, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're back on a warming trend. Highs towards the lower 50s, mostly sunny. Monday and Tuesday of next week, temperatures back towards the lower 60s. But Tuesday, we're going to start to see an increase for the potential for some showers. That'll last all the way through next Saturday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550, KTRS.
Let's see here. Number 2 crew. Can I tell you about the number 2 crew? Man, now that we're now starting to de-ice ourselves and thaw out, we're starting to see some of the remnants of a couple weeks from the dogs, which means you want to call the number 2 crew. Look, here's the deal. It's as simple as this. These are the guys who brought you the watering bowl. They're all about customer service, and they love dogs. And so they started off with the number 2 crew. It's very simple. St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Charles County. What's great about the number 2 crew is it doesn't matter how big your dog is, doesn't matter how big your yard is, no long-term commitments. Can't be any more easier. Once a week, they come out to your house, they walk your yard in a grid, they pick up all the dog business, they double bag it, they throw it away, they send you a picture, they close the gate, they're on to the next house. It's as simple as that. It's great for anybody who's busy, anybody who has mobility issues, anybody who just doesn't like picking up your dog's business, but you love your dog. 314-717-8880. 314-717-8880. From the guys who brought you the watering bowl, they're back with a great, great customer service. And now that the weather is thawing out, you got a lot of stuff to pick up. Might not be a bad idea to call the number 2 crew and see how it works for you. NO2 crew. NO2, the number 2 crew.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've only sold 2 houses, but I know how stressful it can be. I also know the team at Lauren Risley Realty makes the entire process as easy as possible. I watched Lauren work with friends and my parents, and I can say she is top-notch. She doesn't just know the market, she knows what to look for in a home, and that includes red flags. And through all of it, she is calm, cool, and kind. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684, or go to LaurenRisleyRealty.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, I'm giving my hair salon a total makeover.
Total makeover sounds totally expensive.
We updated our logo and colors, so I needed to print new signage, brochures, business cards, everything.
Everything will not be cheap.
Staples did it all, and I saved $100 on my order.
$100? Trim my whiskers, that's a good deal. For everything your business needs to print, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Offer valid in-store and online. Ends 1/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
How would you like your vehicle serviced at your own home or office? Our new Mobile Service Plus, available exclusively from St. Paul Cadillac, can do just that. Hi, this is Joe Clemens. Simply give us a call or go to our website and get a unit dispatched right to your doorstep. This is a game changer for customer service, and we are so happy to offer it to you. Everything from oil changes, belts, new tires, tire rotation, recalls, key fobs, brake pads and rotors, EV charge, battery replacement, air conditioning service, and so much more. St. Paul's Mobile Service Plus will come to you. Call our mobile dispatch at 636-931-0055. That's 636-931-0055. Or go to our website at stpaulcadillac.com and set up an appointment. It's that simple. Get door-to-door service with St. Paul's new Mobile Service Plus. Nothing could be easier. Set up your appointment today. That's Mobile Service Plus exclusively from St. Paul Cadillac at the Herculaneum Auto Mall exit.
Prestige Pools and Spas, St. Louis's most award-winning pool company, family-owned for over 40 years, proudly supports the Backstoppers on KTRS. Their in-ground pool, swim spa, and hot tub experts can make your dreams a reality. Get a tremendous deal on hot tub and swim spa display models with full warranties while supplies last. Veterans and first responders always receive 10% off any in-store retail purchase. Visit their showroom on Watson Road in Sunset Hills or online at PrestigePoolsAndSpas.com. Prestige Pools and Spas salutes all our first responders and their families who put their lives on the line every day to protect us.
All right, let's talk a little movies because maybe you want to watch the 17-hour pregame of the Super Bowl, and maybe you don't. Let's talk with Will Gans, ABC News multi-platform reporter. Good morning, Will Gans.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing good. Let's talk. What do we want to talk about? The Muppets are out with a new movie. Is that possible?
It's a new show, yes, The Muppet Show. So this is a one-night special event. It's streaming now on Disney+. But for anyone who was a fan of The Muppet Show back in the 70s and 80s, what I love about this reboot, if you want to call it that, revival, whatever, is that it's not trying to make it like the 2026 version of The Muppet Show. It follows the same exact formula as the 70s and 80s show did. So it's Kermit trying to keep this variety show train on the tracks. Miss Piggy freaking out because she only has 2 solos as opposed to, I don't know, the entire half hour, and one human guest star every episode. And so for this episode, it is Sabrina Carpenter, and, she's amazing in it. So I think the hope here is, like, if this one single episode special event is received well and people seem like they want it, that it'll be greenlit as a series headed forward. But it's definitely worth watching. And it's also an example, I think, of like pop culture meeting us where we're at. I think a lot of people need something really silly, really lighthearted, kind of nostalgic, and that's exactly what the show is doing.
Well, they can do this because Muppets don't really age, right? I mean, if you had an older Kermit the Frog, maybe, you'd have to have a new son or a new generation of tadpoles or something, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but the felt is still as fresh as it was in the 70s.
Here's the $64,000 question.
Okay.
Does Statler and Waldorf make an appearance? The 2 old guys in the balcony?
Yeah, and they have not aged either, which is probably for the best considering what they looked like on day one. Oh yeah, they're still up there, and they've got the tomatoes ready to launch at any moment.
All right, good. What's coming up on Peacock that has nothing to do with the Olympics?
So this is a series called The Burbs, as in the suburbs, and it's based on the Tom Hanks movie, also from the 80s, but this is a full 8-episode series. And Keke Palmer and her husband move back to his childhood cul-de-sac, and there is a creepy house across the street, and almost immediately she thinks she sees someone watching her from the windows, and the house is up for sale, and in the middle of the night somebody buys it and moves in. And so it is like a spooky sort of thriller series, but it's also very funny. And so I watched episode 1 and had a ton of fun watching episode 1, and all 8 episodes will drop on Peacock on Sunday. So if you're looking for something like that, I think that this has all the makings of a really fun 8-episode series to watch.
All right, and then, of course, it's all about the Super Bowl on Sunday. And is it me, or does the Super Bowl hype, commercials, halftime just seem sort of stale and rote, and we've done this 40 times now, and there's really kind of nothing new?
I would say my outlook is not that bleak. I'm excited for the halftime show. Like Bad Bunny said yesterday, you don't need to know Spanish to enjoy the halftime show. All you need to be ready to do is dance, which I think is a lot of fun. And in terms of who may join him on stage, I think that's also a really fun question mark because last week at the Grammys, he was hanging out a lot with Lady Gaga, which felt a little random unless they've been rehearsing together for her to potentially join him on stage. He's collaborated with Drake in the past, with Cardi B in the past. So it could be, a real who's who of music that gets up there on stage with him, or it might be him by himself, who's to say. But I am excited for the halftime show. I do feel you a little bit in terms of the commercials. Okay, Ben Stiller and Benson Boone singing together with a funny accent. Sure, why not? I don't see anything really inventing the wheel in that space. But as far as the halftime show goes, I'm still interested.
Well, and the other thing about the halftime show is that it's so staged and so choreographed, and it's got to be 10 minutes, no more, no less, and it's just... then you have these sort of interpretive dancers on the field gyrating with some light something, and it's just so I don't know. It just seems like we've been there, done that, and this whole Bad Bunny controversy, I don't get any of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I just don't care about the teams, so I'm waiting for baseball season, and I don't know. It just seems like it's been done. Give me something new, Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Maybe next year we'll throw your name in the ring for choreographer.
No,
so that
I'm
way
not
they're
saying that. I'm not saying
they're
that.
not
I'm just
going to gyrate on the field. They'll give the McGraw special, whatever that may be.
I don't know. How about a little George Strait or something? Give me a little old school or something.
All right. I'm trying to think who was the last throwback performer. Who wasn't. I mean, I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the great halftime show was Bruno Mars.
He is such a performer.
Yeah. Bruno Mars. I go back and watch that Bruno Mars halftime show on YouTube all the time. He is great. But I mean, I don't know. Like Katy Perry. Go back and look at Katy Perry. You're like, wait, what? There's a giant shark on the field. What would that? That didn't make any sense. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. What are you going to hang out with Michael Strahan at Strahan's Super Bowl party, or what are you doing for the Super Bowl?
My invite must have been lost in the mail. I'll have to send him a little email about that. I did not get the Strahan Super Bowl party exclusive invite this year. I'm going to be working this weekend here in New York, trying not to die of frostbite, I guess.
Will Gans, ABC News, not on the Michael Strahan shortlist for his guest, but we'll try and get that corrected for next year. Will, have a good week. Thanks for being a good sport.
All right, you too. Take care.
826, Big 550, KTRS.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Missy Mall.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Now is the perfect time to fall in love with your next home. First Community has a home loan that is perfect for you. Our Smart Choice Home Loan is a 30-year fixed-rate loan with a great rate. And with a 10% down payment, you won't have to pay for private mortgage insurance. It's home buying made easy at First Community. $1 share deposit required. Must qualify for membership. Loan subject to credit approval. Rate, terms, and conditions subject to change without notice. MLS ID number 684198.
Johnny Landau Chevrolet.
829 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Johnny Londoff III getting ready for a busy weekend at the Building and Lot. Good morning, Mr. Londoff.
Absolutely. Good morning, McGraw. Good morning. Busy indeed. So busy, in fact, that we're running a little light up here in the conference room to start the day. We've got a couple deliveries already. So I'm short a few managers and salespeople. We got a packed service waiting room. We're so busy and amped up. Jim Saffo's here. He's doing jumping jacks already. That's how excited he is. And, he's usually asleep when you call.
Well, he's all excited that he doesn't have to brush the snow off all the cars. That's what he's
exactly. Well, Jim's graduated from that. He's had his fair share of winters. He'll hop in the plow truck and stuff, but as far as getting the snows off the car and jumping through the piles and everything, we've got other people for that. When you're in a position of senior, authority level like that,
you are your father's son. There's no question about that. The acorn does not fall far from the tree over there. All right, Johnny, tell us about the inventory you got for this weekend.
Inventory is always, as far as new and pre-owned vehicles, we have a vehicle for every need, every budget. I will say, if anybody was ever interested in an electric vehicle and they never quite pulled the trigger when the tax credit was around, Chevrolet and GM in the months since have really stepped up how aggressive they are with the rebates. The tax credit was $7,500 that you could take at the time of delivery. They are now offering incentives up and over $8,000. They just announced for the month of February on these things. So if you thought you missed your opportunity to get a great deal on an electric vehicle, with the tax credit going away, GM has stepped in and filled the void with their rebates. So if you're interested, come on out and see us this weekend from EV Equinoxes all the way to EV Silverados. We have great deals. If you bought a vehicle in the last few years when the prices were sky high and you're worried you might be a little upside down, too much negative equity in your trade-in vehicle, these electric vehicles are a great way, whether it's with a purchase or even a lease, pay on it for 2-3 years, walk away from that vehicle and your old vehicle scot-free. So we have a lot of options, a lot of available routes for anybody interested in an electric vehicle.
Beautiful. All right, good. Talk about Car Bravo real quick. How's the inventory there?
Car Bravo is unbelievable. And we have a lot full of cars, SUVs, trucks, all coming with not only our lifetime powertrain warranty, but also the 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper Car Bravo warranty, which is absolutely unheard of as far as a certified pre-owned vehicle program that any manufacturer, has ever offered. I think when I first started in the business, certified pre-owned meant, I think they made us do a little nicer buff job on it, and that was really about it. But no, what they've done in the sport and what they're putting forward as far as this, all at no cost to the customer. It's a fantastic program.
All right, good. Let's Jimmy Saffo there to talk about the Autoplex out there.
Yes, he is.
Autoplex is busy too, McGraw. We got a gentleman coming in. Speaking of EVs, we got a gentleman coming in to pick up from Kansas City a pre-owned Blazer EV. He's going to be in about 2 o'clock to pick that up. So we got pre-owned EVs also at great savings. Service is busy out there. We got about 3-4 deliveries today already scheduled. So things are looking up. We're busy and we want to just keep rolling.
All right, beautiful. You got great financing deals, great service department, one great website, busy weekend. You got the Olympics, you got the Super Bowl, and now you got a Johnny Londoff place to go get a brand new car. It all starts at londoff.com. Guys, get back to work. Thanks for checking in, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, McGraw. Have a great weekend, everyone.
There you go. It all starts at londoff.com. Together, let's drive. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Quick check of news. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The U.S. military says it has carried out another deadly strike on a vessel accused of trafficking drugs in the eastern Pacific Ocean. U.S. Southern Command said Thursday on social media that the boat was transiting along known narco-trafficking routes in eastern Pacific and was engaged in narco-trafficking operations. Norway's crown princess issued an apology to those she has disappointed following days of scrutiny of her contacts with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, and said she was sorry for the situation she had put the royal family in. Crown Princess Mette Marit's communications and contacts with Epstein have put her in the spotlight in recent days, adding to the embarrassment to the royals just as her son went to trial this week for multiple offenses, including charges of rape. In local headlines, a data center is being considered in Granite City. A public meeting was held last night where residents voiced opposition to the proposed facility. And hundreds are expected to take part in the 2026 Polar Plunge in Lake St. Louis tomorrow. The event benefits Special Olympics Missouri. 41 degrees. Time now is 8:35. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Quick check of traffic, Captain Paul, in the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, the latest is an accident on 70 East at 141, blocking the two left lanes with traffic backed up to the Blanchette Bridge. Estimated clearance time is 9:05. 70 East is also heavy from 370 to 94. 270 South is closed past Ladue Road with debris in the roadway. Traffic is backed up to Olive there. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years. For all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Dan Zarlinga is in the green room. He's getting his makeup on. We'll talk about the Eagles, not the football team, the actual birds, coming up here in just a minute. Let me tell you about Medicare man Ryan Raphael, because if you're approaching 65, you've got to make some decisions, and the clock ain't stopping. So you're going to reach 65, and if you don't make those decisions, that could be bad. If you are over 65 and you're on Medicare, do you like your plan? Are you sure you have the right plan? There's lots of other options. Why do you keep hearing your neighbors say they love their plan, but you're not crazy about yours? Call Ryan Raphael. Whether you're approaching 65 or you're already on Medicare, he can help you figure out what is best. Don't worry about the cost because it's all included in the plan. So all you're getting is rock solid, unbiased information so you can make the most informed decision on what's best for you. Do not buy your neighbor's Medicare plan. You want to make sure you buy your own, specific just for you. MedicareManSTL.com, 314-368-6808, or MedicareManSTL.com.
Fielder Electric Services has been meeting the needs of residents and businesses in the St. Louis area since 1987. As a family and Christian-run business, Fielder Electric believes in treating the customers the right way. Fielder Electric provides service to residential, industrial, or commercial businesses. Under the directive of a licensed master electrician, all work is completed by our professional electricians. Get a free quote from them today. Visit them online at fielderelectricservices.com or give them a call at 314-773-4955.
St. Louis Ambush Indoor Soccer is back this Saturday at the Family Arena to take on the Tacoma Stars at 6:05 p.m. It's alumni night as we welcome back all the past indoor stars you know. And at halftime, we will retire Mark Moser's jersey number 15, the all-time Ambush leading goal scorer, and unveil the banner in the rafters. Make your plans now for this Saturday and get there early to get your Mark Moser poster presented by the Big 550 KTRS Radio. Tickets available at the Family Arena box office or at Ticketmaster.com. STLambush.com.
Hey, it's Heidi Glaus, and I'm inviting you to join me October 23rd as we journey in search of Iceland's magical northern lights with Colette. And now we've added an extra night. We'll experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the northern lights. Of course, it's one of nature's most dazzling light displays. We're going to see the steaming lava fields, the massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys. Don't forget the thundering waterfalls. We're going to travel the Golden Circle and walk on the black volcanic sand beach, plus relax in the warm, mineral-rich water of the Blue Lagoon. This and so much more. Here's what's awesome. Colette handles all the deets, from flight, meals, hotels, and even those fun local experiences. Your only job is to join me and have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more Wednesday, February 11 at 6 at the Altair Travel Living Room. You can RSVP by calling our friends at Altair, 314-968-9600, or go to our website, KTRS.com, to learn more.
Attention KTRS listeners, Appliance Discounters has a deal for you. Shop now and receive an instant 5% rebate off your next appliance purchase. 5% instant savings off their already low prices. And you can receive other factory rebates, some up to $1,500 direct from the manufacturer. Huge savings, locally owned, next day delivery, 18 months interest-free financing. Appliance Discounters with 6 area locations or online at theappliancediscounters.com.
Heidi Klaus, Josh Gilbert, and Bob Ramsey. Weekday afternoons at 3 on the Big 550.
Always current and always on.
KTRS. Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's get right to it. We got Dan Zarlinga here to talk about the Eagles. Good morning, Dan Zarlinga from the Department of Conservation.
Good morning, guys. How are you all today?
We're doing good. You got Eagle Days at the Audubon Center. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so first of all, it's eagle watching season. December through February is because we have lots of eagles coming down from the north that expand our already existing native eagle population to Missouri. So we have a lot more coming down from the south, from the north, because the waters freeze up north. And the waters are less frozen down here, and so they come down because they want to get their favorite food, fish. So that's why we see so many of them. We've got those two great rivers, the Mississippi and the Missouri River, that join right here around St. Louis, so it's a great spot for them to come for the winter.
Now, we're talking about this Audubon Days, but just anecdotally, I drive in from St. Charles every day, and I drive through the Daniel Boone Bridge often.
Mm-hmm.
And I live right there, real close to the Missouri River. I see eagles all over the place. I see them hanging out on the bridge. I see them in the trees. I see them in the neighborhood, right? I mean, this is the new world we live in because there's so many eagles running around.
Yeah, so the eagles are really doing really well now. And like I said, these 3 months, we're going to see more and more of them than normal because they're coming in from the north. But to be clear, we do have resident eagle populations here in Missouri that are here year-round. They reproduce here, so we've got a pretty nice, healthy population of them now.
Can another bird be misidentified as an eagle?
Well, okay, probably not so much as the adult eagles because they've got those characteristic really white heads.
Right.
But when they're juveniles, for about the first 3 to 5 years, they don't look like that. They kind of look like a mottled brown. So they could easily be misidentified for a hawk or something like that.
Okay.
So, yes, if you're seeing a juvenile one, you may be seeing a bald eagle but not realizing it.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know. All right, so to give us a sense of, all right, so we see that they're coming down. Fun facts about bald eagles. Give us some fun facts about bald eagles.
Yeah, so since this is our 250th anniversary for the country, thought I'd like to go back and get a little historical stuff about bald eagles. They were adopted as our national symbol in 1782, and the original seal had a bald eagle holding 13 arrows and an olive branch, and those 13 arrows symbolize the 13 colonies. A lot of folks have heard that Benjamin Franklin wasn't in favor of making the bald eagle the America's symbol because he preferred the wild turkey, but the Second Continental Congress overruled him and made it the bald eagle.
And the bald eagle is looking at the olive branch as opposed to the arrows signaling we come in peace.
Right, and we're all joined, 13 colonies joined together in peace. So that was the symbolism there. But despite having been used for like 200 years, it wasn't made official until December 2024 when legislation was actually signed into law that made it the official bird of the United States. So
How about that?
It was kind of like, they were just kind of dating, but then they made it official in December 2024. So put a ring on it. But and anyway, so they are our official bird. They can dive as much as 100 miles an hour. Their crushing strength of their talons is over 400 pounds per square inch, about 10 times that of a human. And their eyesight's about 8 times better than a human, so they can spot prey potentially up to 2 miles away. Pretty amazing birds.
They are amazing, and now that you can see them everywhere, there's sort of been a rebirth and a re-understanding and finding out more, I guess, with the internet and everything. But those eagles' camera nests, so those nests that have the cameras on them?
Yes, and you can find a lot of those online, and those are really neat to watch to see them raise the chicks and everything. And so that's a lot of fun, too, to see that.
That, and then to watch them dive bomb into the river and get the fish. And
yes.
These are some incredible animals.
And their legs are made for that because they don't have a lot of feathers on their legs. They're kind of smooth, so that way they don't pick up that water. And though the reason that Ben Franklin wasn't terribly keen on them being the national symbol is because they're not too proud to be pirates. If another bird captures some prey and another eagle wants it, they'll steal it from the other. So they've got they're practical. Let's just say that. and they'll eat roadkill and carrion and stuff too, not just fish. But that's their favorite food.
There you go. All right, tell us about Eagle Days.
So Eagle Days is one of the premier celebrations of bald eagles in the whole metro area. It's happening tomorrow, Saturday, February 7th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Audubon Center at Riverlands, which is at Riverlands Migratory Bird Sanctuary in West Alton. That's right off 367 if you're coming from Missouri, the last exit before you get to the Alton Bridge. Or the first exit if you're coming from Alton. It's a free event for the whole family, all ages. Come and go as you please. We're going to have the World Bird Sanctuary there, delivering programs every half hour or so with live eagles, so you can learn a lot about eagles and see them up close. We're going to have spotting scopes along the river with volunteers. They'll have the scopes trained on bald eagles or whatever other cool things. There's lots of trumpeter swans. I think the count was around 1,500 a few days ago. So trumpeter swans are out there right now. And so there's a lot of cool stuff to see. And if you're concerned about being in the cold, we have the Audubon Center will also be open and have lots of cool displays in there from partners and kids crafts and lots of fun stuff going on in there too.
The World Bird Sanctuary last year had tents up and you could get up and close and personal
Yes,
and see
you were there.
Yeah, see the birds, and it's great for the kids and everything else.
Yeah, it is. It's a great experience, and the tent is heated too. So it doesn't look like it'll be too cold tomorrow, but we do urge people to dress in layers and dress warmer than you think you'll need, because it gets cold by that river with the breeze and everything.
You'll have food trucks and coffee trucks for everybody. Are you going to bring your camera?
I probably will, yeah. So I will be there and taking pictures. So
now, this is tomorrow,
right.
But give us some other places where we can go and watch eagles.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is a great event where everything's happening together there, and we got a lot of educational stuff happening. But if you want to go self-guided eagle watching, you can certainly do that. First of all, you can go to Riverlands anytime you want and see the eagles, but also some other great places are the Chain of Rocks Bridge, just north of the old Chain of Rocks Bridge, just north of St. Louis, because they have the literal chain of rocks that creates rapids and keeps that ice free and stirs up fish. So eagles like that a lot. Columbia Bottom Conservation Area, which is nearby. Jones Confluence State Park, also near there. The city of Alton has lots of different events, so you might want to check with them, Chamber of Commerce, and see what's going on. Pere Marquette State Park in Illinois has a lot of events, and they have eagle tours, too. You can maybe get on some of those. And then two really good spots are Winfield Lock and Dam, number 25, near Winfield, and Clarksville Lock and Dam, number 24. Those are typically eagle hotspots, too, so if you want to do a little bit of driving, you can find them there.
Are those on the River Road on the Missouri side between here and Hannibal?
Yes, they're both in Missouri.
Yeah.
Yes,
I went to one of them a couple years ago. It was a Saturday or Sunday and doing nothing to do, so I sort of drove up there and I stopped off at one of the locks and dams. Hundreds of eagles.
So if you want to see the most eagles, I would recommend those two places. Like people who are maybe more serious wildlife photographers, I'd recommend probably going there because that's where you're going to have the most eagles. But you'll still see them, like these other places too.
I mean,
closer by.
I was driving by. I was like, "Oh, there's one. Wait, there's 50. There's it was hundreds of them. It was unbelievable."
Yes, absolutely. So those are both, and then anywhere really where there's, I get reports of people seeing them along the Merrimack River quite a bit, and maybe more farther south along the Mississippi, like Cliff Cave State Park. So lots of different places where you might see them. Look for a body of water nearby, and that's typically where they're going to hang out, along the banks. Look for them roosting in the trees. If we have ice flows, which I'm not sure we will, but if we do, sometimes they're on those ice flows too, perching there.
Every morning, it's on the perch of the Daniel Boone Bridge. You see a bunch of, I don't know if they're hawks or eagles or vultures or whatever. I mean, there's a whole gambit of birds right there.
It's probably a mix. Yeah, you probably got a lot of different birds on that bridge.
Crazy stuff. I mean, the story of how the eagles have come back from almost extinction is an extraordinary story.
It is. So it's hard to believe that a generation ago, they were basically on the endangered list and all that. And folks may remember DDT, which was a chemical insect repellent used on crops. Well, when it rained, that chemical got washed into the river and water systems. The fish absorbed it, and the eagles ate the fish. And while it didn't kill the eagle directly, what it did is it weakened their the egg shells, the calcium. And so when the mothers were to sit on the eggs, they would crack, and so they couldn't reproduce. And then there was a lot of illegal hunting, and it was a big thing to get eagle feathers and stuff like that. So it was a combination of cracking down on the hunting and eradicating DDT, and then just some reintroduction efforts. All those things combined have brought them back from that brink.
And brought them back in an amazing way. So,
yes, they're doing very well.
Yeah,
they're off the endangered species list.
Yeah, go out and see them. All right, and because, you live here. It's such a great place to go and see bald eagles, so go take advantage of it. All right, website to find out more?
Probably the best place is just go to eagledays.org for this specific event happening tomorrow at Riverlands from 9 to 2. If you want to learn about eagles in general, mdc.mo.gov. We've got a lot of cool stuff on there if you want to find out eagle stuff happening elsewhere in the state. But tomorrow it's a free event. Urge everyone to come. And like you said, we'll have a food truck there and some other fun stuff. So
yeah. Dan Zarlinga, Eagle Days at the Audubon Center at Riverlands over there in Alton. Good stuff. Thanks for coming
West
in.
Alton.
West Alton.
Yes.
850, Big 550, KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, another go in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's a crash on 270 South past Ladue Road with traffic jammed back to Page. A crash on 70 East before 94 is blocking the two left lanes and causing a backup past Zumble to near Cave Springs. There's a crash on 70 West past Hanley, and in East St. Louis, we have an accident on 255 at State Street. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, so the big game is Sunday. You want a little pregame action? How about checking out Dr. Joe's new show Sunday? I believe it's Sunday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Dr. Joe, a St. Louis native, board-certified primary care physician. He's a doctor who set up a weight loss clinic to make it easy, simple, and affordable to get the weight loss drugs. STLMedWeightLoss.com. STLMedWeightLoss.com. What's great about Dr. Joe is that he will, the website's great. Once you make an appointment, 24, 48 hours, you can talk to him or one of his nurse practitioners. They'll get the drugs sent right to your front door, and then the once-weekly injections, you'll start losing weight, and the numbers will start going in the right direction. There's lots to learn. There's lots to know. That's why he's doing the show on the weekends. But to find out everything you need to know, great response from KTRS listeners, STLMedWeightLoss.com, STLMedWeightLoss.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Hardcastle, host of Money Talk. Join me and all of our Money Talkers for our June 2027 French Riviera Money Talk vacation. 9 days, unpack one time, balmy beaches, coastal resorts, chic boutiques, captivating museums, and much more. And if you book early, under $5,000 for brochure and information, call our Delta office, 636-532-0484. The French Riviera, I'm Bob Hardcastle.
The Big 550 wants you to know that when it comes to local news, KTRS is committed to keeping you informed with all the local news going on.
I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Jill Enters, KTRS News.
With KTRS News, I'm Steve Paul. This is KTRS News, I'm Sobe Bay.
And when it comes to national and world news, the Big 550 has the resources and backing of ABC News.
I'm Sherry Preston from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen.
Delivering what you need to know and keep informed. We are the talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS. KTRS. Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550, KTRS.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, there's a crash on 270 South past Ladue Road, blocking the two right lanes with traffic jam back to Page. An accident on 70 East before 94 is blocking the two left lanes and causing a backup to near Cave Springs. There's a crash on 70 West past Hanley, and in East St. Louis, we have an accident on 255 at State Street. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
We're tracking highs back towards the upper 40s this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Into Saturday, looking cooler thanks to an overnight passing dry cold front. Highs back towards the mid-30s, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're back on a warming trend. Highs towards the lower 50s, mostly sunny. Monday and Tuesday of next week, temperatures back towards the lower 60s. But Tuesday, we're going to start to see an increase for the potential for some showers. That'll last all the way through next Saturday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
$8:55 here, Big 550 KTRS. Winfield Visitors area dam closed for construction. I think the visitors area might be closed, but you don't need to go to the visitors center. Just hang out in the parking lot. I mean, it's they're everywhere. It's crazy. I drove to Alton the other day on business, and before crossing the bridge on the right, there was quite a big get-together with buses, cameras, all set up for everything. So they're already doing it, I think. Mm-hmm. I've been checking out the Eagles. Yeah, no, you don't need an official anything. You can just go and check them out wherever you want. Let's see here. How likely is it that a bear would eat the Ring camera? Hard to digest. I'm sorry. I apologize.
They're really fighting you on this.
It's unbelievable. Yes, a Ring camera would be hard to digest. Be sure to, here's another, the same guy. Be sure to check with Dan on the bear, javelina, coyote angle. Bears eat humans. Javelinas stories are all over Arizona about how they take babies, they attack joggers. There's all sorts of stories of coyotes that steal dogs, hop the fence and take your dog. That's a real thing. It happens all the time in Arizona. I just asked the question, anybody think of an animal attack, a bear attack? That's all.
What's a dingo?
They eat your babies.
Apparently.
Yes.
It's like a coyote, right?
The dingo ate my baby.
It's a form of coyote in Australia. Yeah. Same deal, though. Same deal. There are stories. I mean, it's not like I made it up.
I didn't know what a javelina was.
Oh, and there's
they're.
I don't know, but they're not that big.
Yeah, they are.
I'm looking at them.
Okay, well, I've seen them up close and personal, and I had a black lab, and the javelina was bigger than the black lab.
They're literally like the rodents of unusual size.
Which
like,
is what I said.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
8:58, Big 550, KTRS, St. Louis.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Are you prepared to take advantage of all the new changes in the tax law this year? Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group. and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours. This year, we're celebrating 50 years helping area businesses get their financial plans in order, reduce their tax liability, and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. I'm also launching my newest book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act made permanent many of the tax rules from the Tax and Jobs Act signed into law in 2017, but also added many new benefits to both businesses and households. My new book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill, outlines the details. Get your copy today at capitaladvisorygrp.com or find it on Amazon.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. As the markets open, stocks are bouncing back from big swings all week long. Tech stocks taking a hit this week, and the Bitcoin slide continued overnight at least. Some of the decline apparently tied to what the Treasury Secretary said. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Plummeting for days now, Bitcoin. It's down to its lowest point since before President Trump, who vowed to be the most crypto-friendly president in history, took office. Part of the decline is due to overall uncertainty in the market. Investors were spooked, though, even further after something the Treasury Secretary said on Wednesday, indicating the federal government is unlikely to step in, saying it has no power to financially come to Bitcoin's rescue.
Right now, the Dow is trading 724 points higher. Nearly a week after her 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was reported missing from her home in Tucson, her son Cameron has issued his own statement asking for her safe return.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
The brother of Today host Savannah Guthrie asking for proof that their mother is alive. ABC's Aaron Katursky.
This morning, the FBI is taking seriously the chance Nancy Guthrie is being held for ransom. Several news organizations received a note containing descriptions of her watch, a demand for Bitcoin, and 2 deadlines, one past and one Monday.
It's going to be cold this weekend, very, very cold in the Northeast.
Extreme cold warnings and cold alerts from Detroit to Boston down to New Bern, North Carolina. Sub-zero wind chills for New York City could feel like 15 below by Sunday morning. Washington, D.C. also sub-freezing. Pittsburgh also. Buffalo over to Boston.
ABC Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. Sources tell ABC News President Trump told New York Senator Chuck Schumer he would unfreeze billions of dollars in federal funding for an infrastructure project if Schumer would get behind renaming Penn Station in his honor. This is ABC News.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
44 degrees at 9:03. A woman accused of firing a gun inside of a Kirkwood restaurant is now facing charges. 31-year-old Aaliyah Moorhead is charged on several counts, including first-degree assault and armed criminal action for allegedly firing a gun inside of a sushi restaurant on South Kirkwood on Wednesday night after an argument with the staff. No one was hurt in the gunfire. Moorhead told police that the staff appeared rude towards her and her family upon their arrival. She also stated she used a translator feature on her AirPods and heard the cooks speaking in Spanish say racial and derogatory comments about her, her sister, and her niece. The first bill of the year is approved by the Missouri House. House members approved a bill yesterday that would require life-saving measures to be provided for a baby born alive after a failed abortion. Under the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Act, abortion providers could face the death penalty if malpractice is discovered. Meanwhile, Susan Klein, the executive director for Missouri Right to Life, is responding to the passage of this bill. Klein issued a statement which reads in part, quote, Missouri Right to Life applauds the Missouri House for passing legislation that will ensure that babies born alive after an abortion attempt receive the same care as a baby born through the natural process. We thank the sponsors, Representatives Brian Seitz and Holly Jones, for bringing this life-saving legislation forward for debate and passage, end quote. State Representative Charlie Meyer is sponsoring legislation this spring that would require the Illinois Department of Transportation to collaborate with the state fire marshal to establish guidelines for building and repairing roads in a way that makes it easier for firefighter vehicles to turn and access roads during emergencies, potentially by including features like turnarounds on new or rebuilt roads.
I have several interstates running through my district, and when we have a crash and we need life-saving support out there on the interstate, some of my first responders have to drive 10 or 12 miles up the interstate and turn around if it's too wet to get their equipment through the middle, that they can't drive right across the grass. I would like to see turnarounds added every 4 or 5 miles so there's a place to turn around. We need these in there so our first responders can get there and be where they need to help save people's lives.
The bill would amend the Department of Transportation law of the Civil Administrative Code of Illinois by requiring the Department of Transportation to work with the state fire marshal to develop best practices when constructing or reconstructing roadways to accommodate firefighter vehicles and turning and accessing roadways for emergencies. Renovations are planned for St. Louis's Keener Plaza. The city is partnering with the Gateway Arch Park Foundation and Great Rivers Greenway on the project. Improvements will include new pavers, shade structures, and additional lighting. The work is scheduled to begin on February 9th. The plaza will remain open throughout the process. And the City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency published a detailed report and proposed framework for data center zoning regulations. This comes as the city seeks to establish clear and thoughtful rules on where and under what conditions and requirements data centers could be allowed in the city of St. Louis. The framework presented in the report remains a work in progress and will be refined through community feedback, stakeholder conversations, and discussions with the Planning Commission and the Board of Aldermen. The recommendations will be presented at the next Planning Commission meeting on February 11th. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved ones you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 650 points to 49,600. The S&P is up 80 points to 6,900. And the NASDAQ is up 285 points to 22,800. In KTRS Sports, Seattle's Drew Lock looks to join Chase Daniel and Blaine Gabbert as former Mizzou quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl as a backup. The Seahawks are slight favorites over the Patriots for the big game on Sunday. And Mizzou basketball is back on the floor tomorrow when they take on South Carolina in the other Columbia. Pre-game coverage Saturday morning starts at 11:30 a.m. here on the Big 550 KTRS. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose, there's a crash on 270 south past Ladue Road, blocking the 2 right lanes with traffic jammed back to Page. An accident on 70 west past Hanley is blocking the 2 left lanes and has traffic jammed back to Florissant Road. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years for all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, sunny today with a high of 47, partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 25, partly sunny tomorrow, high of 39, and Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 55. It's currently 41 degrees. Time now is 9:08. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
I'm Jason Quillman, owner and founder of Window Depot USA of St. Louis. You don't replace your windows and doors every day, so when you do, make it count with the best product at the best value. At Window Depot USA of St. Louis, we bring you Energy Star most efficient triple pane windows built for maximum energy savings, superior sound control, and condensation resistance. And thanks to our national buying power, we offer high-performance triple pane windows competitively priced compared to other companies' double panes. Call Window Depot USA of St. Louis today at 636-939-4800 or visit us online at windowdepotstl.com.
Yippee-yi-yo, Coyote galloping all the way, great big star on his chest. Outruns all of the rest, fastest gun in the West. Yippee-yi-yo, Coyote riding around your way, here comes quick draw for draw. The highfalutinist, fastest shootingest cowboy you ever saw. That's quick draw for draw.
All right, I'm already mad at the text line. You've been nothing but rude to me this morning. Overly rude, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to pour gasoline on the fire. Why not, right? Why only go full? Go big or go home, as I always say. A little bit later on, we'll check in with Rady Carricker. And, of course, the phone lines are always open. 314-931-5877, 314-931-5877. Text your pithy and interesting comments to 84126. Connor, what is the most grief I get on the radio show, minus this current Javelina
minus
story?
the whole
minus the
Javelina
Javelina.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people give you grief about the gambling machines.
Gambling machines, good.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And what do they say about it again? Shut up, McGraw. Stop talking about it. Nobody cares, McGraw. Nobody cares, McGraw. Shut up, McGraw. Shut up. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of listening about it. I'm tired. Right? That's sort of a lot of the feedback I get.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yes.
For the negative text. There are some
text.
people that agree with you.
There are a lot of people who agree with me. Well, the reason why I bring this up, stop bringing it up, McGraw. Stop bringing it up. You bring it up all the time. I can't listen to it anymore. Well, I'm bringing it up again because Catherine Hanaway, our Attorney General, yesterday told a legislative committee in Jefferson City that the state and feds are looking at the illegal slot machines and how billions flow from Missourians to the companies that own the gaming machines. Attorney General Catherine Hanaway told the legislative committee yesterday, the state, at the request of federal investigators, joined the probe that has its roots in the federal civil court case where the jury found that the games offered by Wildwood-based Torch Electronics are illegal devices. So says the current Attorney General of the state of Missouri, Catherine Hanaway. She said to the Missouri House Budget, we are investigating what the operators of the games are doing, how the money is flowing, where they have locations, how many machines, so that we can go in with some enforcement action. Her comments come as the House prepares to debate a bill to authorize the Missouri Lottery to license tax these machines known as video lottery machines. I don't know why they call them that. They're slot machines. The bill, with support from the opposition to cross-party line, blah, 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 blah. So she announced that the feds are looking at these illegal gambling machines, which I find quite interesting. Now, anytime the feds start looking at you, you get a little, right? Whoa, the feds are looking into this. However, the cynic in me says something else. Now, later on in this story, there's a couple stories, one from the Associated Press and one from the Missouri Independent. These games that are provided by Torch Electronics are unregulated by the state. No reports over how much money they're taking in, no reports on how much money they're giving out, no reports on what the payback is nothing. It's just completely unregulated. As opposed to the 13 casinos which must report monthly for taxations, they reported $17 billion in bets in each of the past 3 fiscal years. $17 billion was run through those machines, and 90% of that money was returned to the players. So 17 times 90% is the state made, they took in $17 million, they gave back $15 million, roughly. So there's $2 million there that was the profits and the taxes and everything else. By law, slot machines in casinos must return 80% of the money. Casino profits are taxed at 21%, bringing in $364 million for public schools in the most recent fiscal year. Financial records obtained by the federal trial show that Torch Games pulled in $32 million from 2007 2023 at 20 locations with about 100 machines. Torch split $11 million with retailers, leaving about 65% for payback. Catherine Hanaway says she does not have a moral objection to the games. My concern is that they are all doing on the state, unregulated, bringing in billions of dollars that we're going to have to openly ignore the law and just sort of fragrantly believe that they can operate these in these illegal circumstances. That we're going to get real organized crime in the state, she's worried about. Here's the cynic in me. They're now talking about somehow making these legal. I think that the state and the feds are looking into it to encourage people to regulate it, license it, right? Because there's a lot of people who just don't want to touch this. They don't want to deal with it, whatever. But we have to do something, because if we don't do something, the feds are going to come in, and then it's going to be a nightmare. So we've got to make some ground rules for this. So I don't think this is the feds cracking down on illegal slot machines. I actually think this is the feds goosing the state legislature to get this on paper. That's my sense of it. I could be wrong. They could be standing up.
Yeah.
But
you kind of have an objection to all gambling, though.
I do not have an objection to all gambling.
All right.
My objection, one, is these slot machines are unregulated,
Sure.
undocumented.
Yeah.
There's they're illegal, and they're being operated outside of the law. And if you're a law and order person, you should probably write it down and make it legal. If you legalize it, fine, whatever. Secondly, I'm not against somebody gambling. What I'm against is, well, one, I think it's a danger. It'd be like, are you against somebody? Are you for making smoking illegal? No, but I would recommend you not smoke. So in that sense, I'm probably anti-smoker.
You're anti-smoking.
But if you smoke, it's like, all right, knock yourself out. I'm not gonna
Right.
throw you in jail for smoking. But I would recommend probably it's bad for you. And yeah, have I had a cigarette? Yeah, I have. I've done bad things, but that still doesn't mean it's not just like I have to advocate for people smoking. I know it's bad. Gambling is, but if you're a grown adult and you want to gamble, fine. My problem with gambling is that it's the kids who get hooked. It's the old ladies who get hooked. It's these people who really shouldn't be gambling at the convenience store are gambling. What's coming is the 24-hour, 7 days a week slot machine on your phone.
Oh, that's already here.
Not in Missouri, but
well, I mean, you can just. There are ways around that.
Yeah. So again, this is going to be you're selling a completely addictive product to an unsuspecting public. There's a reason why heroin is not legal. There's a reason why cocaine is not legal. There's a reason why we wait till you're 21 to have a drink. There's a reason why you can't be, 18 or 21 to buy cigarettes, whatever it is. There's a reason for that. But we don't seem to care about that for the 16-year-old kid. So I'm sort of calling attention to the fact that, hey, maybe this isn't the smartest idea because it's a detriment to society.
Well, what is the age to gamble here? Didn't we set one?
I think it's 21.
So it's 21. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
but
isn't that the same?
There's 16-year-olds gambling.
There's 16-year-olds drinking. You know, it's like
well, actually, it's hard. It's much harder to get a drink than it is to get a joint.
Okay, well,
it's much harder. It's much harder because alcohol's regulated. Alcohol.
So is marijuana now.
True, but there's not a lot of moonshine being sold on the corner by finesse.
Yeah, not anymore.
Right. Well, again,
100 years ago.
It's easier for a 16-year-old to get heroin today than it is to get a 6-pack of beer.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm not so sure about that.
Oh my goodness. Alcohol is regulated. There are trouble if you're a convenience store, then caught selling to a minor. There's all sorts of penalties. You got to have ID.
Listen, I'm not going to out anyone here that's in my life or myself. I don't know what the statute of limitations are. I don't think it's reasonable to expect that there's no underage.
Of course, it's impossible. It's impossible not to. It's impossible. Young kids who are going to get their hands on alcohol, but we have at least put up a fight. We've made it harder.
Sure,
we've made it harder. In the state of Missouri, they've made it harder. They've blocked or made it. You have to register for porn sites now.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are doing that.
Well, right. So they've blocked the companies have sort of said, fine, we just won't take anybody from Missouri.
Just don't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's harder to find a porn site than it is to gamble. But only I don't know if OnlyFans. I don't know how OnlyFans works.
I don't know. What if they got together and they said, all right, we're legalizing these slot machines. We're passing a law. They're going to follow the rules now.
If they passed a law and it became legal,
would you still get on every Friday?
No.
Complain?
Illinois, it's legal in Illinois.
Yeah.
You ever hear me complain about the Illinois gambling?
Well, it feels like it's like kind of lumped in. It feels like you kind of take a grander stand against.
Would I go and gamble in Illinois because it's legal? No, I wouldn't do it. And would I probably go vote against it? Probably. But if it's legal, it's legal. You don't hear me complain about cigarettes. You don't hear me complain about other vices that are legal. I get it, but there's no consumer protection at all. And now the feds agree with me. So I ain't woke. I'm Trump because the feds are Trump. I'm Andrew Bailey now. Andrew Bailey's the feds.
Yeah.
I'm Pam Bondi. I'm Catherine Hanaway. I am them. They are me. So everybody out there, you're all the woke liberals. I'm now Andrew Bailey, who's in a position for the feds to go after these illegal slot machines. That's the point I'm making. So get over yourself.
I'm with you. Let's get rid of the slots.
314-931-5877. I'm afraid to look at the text line.
There's no one here calling you out, maybe one or two.
Let's see here. Hanaway needs to investigate the coin-operated car washes. Owners don't always report or count all the coins. Well, that's just cheating on your taxes.
They need to investigate these car washes that took almost the same name as your country club.
That's bogus too.
You do country club.
That's right. And if it doesn't say country, it ain't country club. Yeah.
But there's these other car washes that they took almost the exact same name as it. There's one by me on Hampton. It's like what's going on there?
636. I've been told by teens that it's harder to get alcohol than drugs.
Well, which drugs? That was my point.
Heroin's everywhere.
I don't know if heroin is everywhere.
Cocaine's everywhere.
Well, that was why I said
because
which drugs.
it's unregulated.
Yeah.
Who are the feds? Can you name a person or department? No, I just quoted Catherine Hanaway, the Attorney General. She said the feds. So she's investigating because the feds are coming down on her. So it's the feds. It's Trump's White House. It's Trump's Justice Department. It's Donald Trump. I'm Trump, baby. Get over it. You're starting this daily conversation without a neater, I told you so, exactly why you're not married. That's not exactly why I'm not married. There's way other reasons why I'm not married. That's not the reason. I think the interest in the Savannah Guthrie tragedy is a desire for anything that doesn't have Trump as a focus, plus everybody thinks their opinion matters. There's a lot to that, too. But it's also, it's a story. She's a famous personality, so that's going to be a story.
Well, and true crime is so big now.
True crime is so big.
This is essentially what this is.
There's a whodunit factor. There's a morbid curiosity factor. It's become a reality show. Everyone's sitting at home. Everyone has a theory. It's become. We forget that there's a family that's going through the worst tragedy of their lives, and we're sitting here playing parlor games, making jokes and cracking jokes about it, and waiting for the stunning conclusion. And then, of course, you have the people who've turned it political. Because the minute you find out that it's an undocumented worker, the minute you find out it's a right-wing, insane, gun-toting, media-hating person who targeted Savannah Guthrie's mom, wait till you find out the name is some Muslim-sounding name, right? You're ready to pounce on this in whatever way, shape, or form to twist it to your own political agenda. So wait till that happens, right? Then, because it's all a reality show and it's all a game. And it's become a reality show and it's become a game. And we forget that these are real human beings whose mother's missing and they're heartbroken over it. But, your zest and your appetite for entertainment is Trump's, real world and everything else. 926 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk Gelmish & Sons. Gelmish & Sons Heating and Cooling, 314-993-1110, 314-993-1110, or gelmishandsons.com. 76 years going strong on Gelmish & Sons. Look, the hedge funds, they come in, they buy up these companies, they slash and burn, they jack up the prices, and then they expect you to just follow right along. Gelmish & Sons scratches their head and says, I don't really get it. We'll keep doing what we do, which is being great stewards of St. Louis homeowners and their money. They don't overcharge you. They charge you what is a fair price, and you'll get a great day's work for a standard price at Gelmish & Sons. They can't believe some of these prices they're seeing as they go in and sort of bid on some of these jobs. They do it at a fraction of what these hedge funds come in at. But that's why Gelmish & Sons is the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. They'll install a brand-new Lennox system if need be, and they'll install it at a reasonable price. 314-993-1110. Gelmish & Sons, the name to remember. Gelmish & Sons or gelmishandsons.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, the exit from 70 West to Grand is closed due to an accident, and the estimated clearance time is 10:10. There's a crash on 64 East at Prospect with traffic backed up to I-70. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, let me tell you about Neighbors Credit Union real quick, and then we'll get to Randy at the bottom of the hour, talk a little Super Bowl. Neighbors Credit Union is where you go to open up a smart account. For any child in your world that is age 22 or younger, you can open up a smart account. What's great about these smart accounts is you can open up for $5, $500,000, $10, doesn't matter. But the first $1,000 in this account will be subject to a higher interest rate. compounding your interest, seeing the money grow as the child grows, and birthdays roll by, and holidays roll by, and they lose a tooth, and they get their first communion, and their second communion, their confirmation, and their sweet 16 party, right? More money flows in, and it starts to grow. When they get to the ripe old age of 22, 23, they graduate from college, and they find themselves with a nice little nest egg because you decided right now to go to neighborscu.org and open up a smart account for them. You're giving them the gift that will last a lifetime, financial literacy, teaching them the value of a dollar. Neighbors has been doing this a long time, 100 years. They have 8 area locations, a credit union that has been rooted in the community. They started off helping letter carriers, and now they've opened it up to any and all. Any child under the age of 22 is available for a smart account. NeighborsCU.org. NeighborsCU.org.
The Big 550 salutes one of our very own, a 5-time All-Star.
Look out, Moser on his left, but he scores! Oh, baby! And Moser goes up high and pounds the glass.
A St. Louis Soccer Hall of Famer.
Moser pokes it up, but he scores! Another nutmeg on the goal. Moser has 2, and it's a 5-point lead.
Over 500 goals in his 12-year indoor soccer career.
St. Louis ambush on the 1995 NPSL champs.
This Saturday, the St. Louis Ambush will retire legendary indoor soccer Mark Mosier's number 15 jersey at the Family Arena.
From the Dayton Dynamo to the Indiana Kick, and finally coming back home to lead the St. Louis Steamers Storm and Ambush, Mark Mosier set the standard in indoor soccer here in St. Louis.
KTRS congratulates Mark Mosier for a stellar soccer career, and you can hear him weekly as the host of St. Louis Soccer Weekly, right here on KTRS.
Richard West here with Overstock Outlet. As retired law enforcement, we at Overstock Outlet are proud to support Backstoppers and first responders.
Shop Overstock Outlet, a family-owned business where you'll never know what they'll have. New products arrive daily from the big box stores. 2 locations, 8621 Highway N in Lake St. Louis at Lake St. Louis Boulevard and Highway N, and 604 East Boonslick in Warrenton in the Old Kroger. Open daily. Check out their Facebook pages, Overstock Outlet Lake St. Louis, Overstock Outlet Warrenton, and Overstock Outlet Auctions.
And remember, Overstock Outlet, where you never know what we'll have.
Mizzou basketball on the Big 550 KTRS is powered by Graybar.
Graybar.
On the run, Mitchell for the plus, Missouri by 20. Mizzou travels to South Carolina to play against the Gamecocks at noon. Pre-game begins at 11:30 a.m.
Right baseline to the rim, jams it as he hangs.
Catch all the action right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Graybar for all your electrical and datacom solutions.
26 years ago, we feared Y2K. Flash drives were invented. The International Space Station was built. Survivor debuted on TV, and Carnival was born.
We're back at it Saturday, February 28th at Ameristar Casino. 16 of St. Louis's best restaurants and comedy from King of Queens, Gary Valentine.
I have a huge suitcase and 4 marbles on the bottom, a 9-foot strap. It's like walking a bad dog. I'm like, come on, Samsonite.
Along with the night of comedy, plan on sampling dishes from great restaurants like Nudo House, Antonino's Taverna, Piccadilly in Manhattan, Trattoria Marsala, Sugar Fire Smokehouse, Grace Meat Plus 3, Bulk and Treat Box, and Clementines. Tickets are going fast. Get them now at carnieskids.org. Brought to you by Surf Pro Team Chestnut, Allen Roofing, Otero Group, City of St. Charles, and the Delmar Gardens family. It's a night of fun, food, and punchlines. Saturday, February 28th. Info at carnieskids.org.
There is a reason we are called the Big 550.
Reason number 1.
The voices you know.
Hi, everybody. McGraw Show here.
Hi, this is Frank Kusumani.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer.
Reason 2.
The voices you trust.
I'm John Carney. Thank you for listening.
It's Julie Buck here.
Reason 3.
The voices you've learned to love and the personalities you grew up with.
Hey, it's Heidi.
Hey, everybody, it's Josh.
Hi, everybody. It's Bob Ramsey.
And not to mention, but we will.
Locally owned and nationally and worldwide known. We are St. Louis's hometown station. The Big 550 KTRS. The talk of St. Louis.
All right, Randy Carricker checks in with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Talk a little sports. Good morning, Randy Carricker.
Good morning, McGraw. How you doing?
All right, I'm doing well. Let's get your Super Bowl prediction. I know we all know where you stand with the with the Patriots. But putting that aside for a moment, in your professional capacity, how do you see the Super Bowl turning out?
I think this is a double-digit win for the Seahawks. I think both teams will be able to score a little bit, but the over-under is 45.5. I think they're still going to go under. I think this is like a 27-10. I'll go 27-13 in favor of Seattle. So that'd be a 40-point over-under, and they'll still win by double digits.
So you think Seattle covers and the under carries the day?
I do, yeah. I think that's the case. I really like Seattle's defense, the way they stack up against the New England offense. And I think that Kenneth Walker, one of the things against the Patriots is teams like in the playoffs, they haven't taken advantage of their ability to run. Part of that was that they had injured running backs, both Houston for the Texans and then in their last game against Denver, both of those teams had injured running backs. I think that Seattle will be able to run on Denver. Most teams have during the course of the year. One thing that people don't recognize a lot also, McGraw, is that during the regular season, taking nothing away from New England's success here in the playoffs, but New England played the softest schedule in the entire NFL during the regular season. Seattle played the third toughest schedule. So I think the way that these teams got here through the regular season has kind of toughened to Seattle a little bit more.
Yeah. And I know I'd love to see Sam Darnold win it just because the poor guy's been maligned, right? His career has been over with. He was kicked out of New York. He was traded to Carolina, is kicked out of there, picked up by Minnesota, kicked out of there, and, his fourth team, and he was, on the trash heap, and now he's going to bring home a Super Bowl. I'd love to see it.
And you know what? It's pretty amazing when you look at what has happened to players like Darnold that go to the right places. A guy like Daniel Jones this year gets off to a great start before he gets hurt. He had gone to Kevin O'Connell for a little while in Minnesota. Same thing with Darnold. Darnold spent a year with Kyle Shanahan and then goes to Seattle or Minnesota and has his year before he goes to Seattle. If I were a backup quarterback, look at Mac Jones. Nobody thought Mac Jones would be any good. He backs up for San Francisco this year under Kyle Shanahan and does really well. If I were a backup or washed-up quarterback, and Justin Fields, the Jets quarterback this year, is another one of those guys, I'd be all over my agent to get me to either Minnesota or San Francisco for a year as a backup, just so that I can get the magic fairy dust spread on me.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Matt Stafford, the quarterback of the Rams, who I like, was, toiling in Detroit forever, gets traded to the Rams, wins a Super Bowl, and now just named MVP of the league.
At 37 years old, really impressive. Had his best year and had an awesome year. And I think that he's definitely the player of the year in the NFL. I don't know if I would classify him as more valuable than a guy like Drake May of New England, whose backup, Joshua Dobbs, is if they don't have Drake May, they're 4-13 again. And if the Rams don't have Matthew Stafford and they have Jimmy G, Jimmy Garoppolo's played in the Super Bowl. I think the Rams are in the playoffs still. So I would say in terms of most valuable, I would go with Drake May, but certainly the best player in the league this year was best quarterback in the league was Matthew Stafford. Best player in the league, by the way, was Myles Garrett of Cleveland.
You have this quarterback talk about Sam Darnold and Stafford and all these others. Then you think back on Kurt Warner and where that guy came from and how it all happened, right? I mean, that we say what you want about being crushed by the Rams leaving. We got to see one of the greatest seasons in the history of the NFL.
Our fans, McGraw, that run of the greatest show on turf, I think we had it better than any other fan base has ever had. Hopefully, and Torrey Holt missed the Hall of Fame last night. I don't even know why they bother. But for me, that was the best run that any fan base has ever had. We had 5 Hall of Famers. If you include Aeneas Williams, we had Isaac, we had Torrey, Isaac, we had Kurt, we had Orlando, we had Marshall, we had Aeneas Williams, plus our coaches in the Hall of Fame, so that's 6, and Torrey should be. And the teams still played defense then. So, yeah, and Kurt Warner was an incredible story. You wonder how the entire league missed him. And then how a coach, as accomplished as a quarterback coach as Mike Holmgren is, missed on him being in training camp with him. But Kurt was there. And, yeah, I would argue that when he was going, as good as Manning ever was, as good as Tom Brady ever was, as good as Drew Brees, who made the Hall of Fame last night, as good as he ever was. I thought Kurt, at his best, was as good as anybody who ever played. And here's one thing that needs to be pointed out. When the Rams went to the Super Bowl in 1999, they had been the losingest franchise in the league during the decade of the 90s. And then he took the Cardinals to the Super Bowl. Cardinals have only been in one championship since 1947. They won the championship in 47. And otherwise, they've been abysmal. And Warner is the guy that took him to the Super Bowl in 2008. So in terms of his passing ability, I thought he was as good as there ever was. And the magic that he brings to a franchise is unmatched.
And they lost that Super Bowl, but they very easily could have won that Super Bowl. And I don't think Kurt Warner lost it, even with that slow motion touchdown return right before half.
Right.
Their defense lost it for him when it was all said and done.
No doubt about it. And the last time Kurt Warner started 3 Super Bowl games, the last time he touched the ball in all of those games, Super Bowl 34, he gave them a lead that they wouldn't relinquish. They would win 23-16. Super Bowl 36, he leads them to the tying touchdown at 17-17, and then Brady leads them back, and he doesn't get the ball again. And then, as you mentioned, he led them to the lead touchdown with another Hall of Famer, Larry Fitzgerald, scoring the lead touchdown with just a couple of minutes left before Roethlisberger led that iconic comeback for Pittsburgh. So in the last time Kurt touched the ball in all 3 of the Super Bowls, he either tied the game or put his team ahead.
Yeah. Plus, he's a really nice man, and it's a heck of a story. But yeah, no, those Rams games, that Rams run was that was something to behold. Hey, while we have you, real quick, Missouri basketball, where are we doing? What's going on with them?
Well, right now they're on the outside looking in, according to Joe Lunardi. They would be in the first 4 teams out of the NCAA tournament, but and they have 4 games left against teams that are at the moment ranked. So they're going to have 4 opportunities to go and win games and get themselves into the tournament. But they're going to have their hands full. I think it's going to be really hard, McGraw, for Mizzou because of their inconsistency, and they just don't have enough scoring at the moment. I think it's going to be really hard for them to make it to the NCAA tournament. This weekend they play at South Carolina, and that'll be a tough one, noon tomorrow, right here on the Big 550 KTRS. And by the way, St. Louis University with LaSalle this weekend, the Billikens are 22-1, and they seem like a lock for the NCAA tournament, barring an unmitigated disaster.
Yesterday in the hallowed halls of the Big 550 KTRS, somebody mentioned La Pizza, and somebody walked by and said that was Schertz's favorite pizza in town. So, have you been to La Pizza on Delmar?
I have, and I don't disagree with Josh Schertz. It is spectacular pizza, and I would advise little tiny dining room, better to order out, but they do have a few seats, but they do make great New York style pizza.
I was during the pandemic. We were living over there, and you'd call it like 2:00 for pizza, that night, and you'd call and be like, "I'd like to order a couple pies." Like, sorry, sold out. I'm like, "You're sold out at 2:00?" They had already had enough orders that they couldn't make any more pizzas at 2:00.
They're amazing,
yeah.
And that is when you know that you have absolutely nailed it as a restaurant. And I really do appreciate the places that don't try to overexpand, don't try to make too much, don't try to be something that they aren't. Just be a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant. You don't hear a lot about them, but, man, they're good. And when you do hear about them, it's word of mouth because everybody that goes there knows it's awesome.
Yeah, all right, Randy Carricker, who's your sponsor?
It's our friends at Dalco Home Remodeling, McGraw, and they do such amazing work in the St. Louis area, whether you're getting roofs or doors done. And we're all going to need replacement windows at some point to increase our efficiency. They have the most efficient windows that you can buy, custom door entries if you want security, and great installation. You can get it from our friends at Dalco Home Remodeling. And they've been doing it for 50 years, and you don't stay in business for 50 years unless you have trustworthy, high-quality people working on your house. If you want a company that you can trust will do great work and you trust is going to be there, do it on time, and be there tomorrow if anything goes wrong, get in touch with our friends at Dalco Home Remodeling. Their number is 314-298-7300. They're on the web at dalcohomeremodeling.com.
Royal Banks of Missouri's local mortgage lenders are here to help you unlock the door to your new home. Whether you're searching for your first house or more space for the family, they offer competitive rates and personalized support to guide you on your home purchase journey. Call 314-212-1500 to discover how the Royal Banks of Missouri mortgage team can provide the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation for foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing. Choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, solid as rock.
All right, what do we got going on? Got a little Frankie baby. Oh, by the way, we did find, for those that are wanting to know, for inquiring minds who want to know, we found Duke Zebert's jingle that Larry King used to play at the end of the Larry King show.
Are you going to play it on your...
Yeah, well, I just haven't figured out where. Okay. And then next week, we've got Larry King's old producer.
On the show?
On the show, yeah. He apparently was his producer for 10 years, and he ghost wrote all of his books.
Wow. All right.
So we're gonna have that on. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, what pizza place were you guys just talking about? La Pizza. La Pizza on Delmar. There's a new one apparently on North Main Street in St. Charles. There's a new La Pizza. The guy there is a huge Roberto Clemente fan.
So this is like a New York slice, La Pizza.
Well, they used to have slices. I don't think they do slices anymore.
Well, like
Since the pandemic, they don't have slices anymore.
Style.
Yeah, it's It's on Delmar on Bonhomie. I don't know how you say that. Bonham?
I think Bonham is fine.
Bonham? Okay. I always call it Bonhomie.
I don't know. I think that's probably the most incorrect way to pronounce it.
Bonhomie?
Yeah, Bonham. Like, whether it's Bonham or Bonhome, it's just definitely not Bonhomie. Like,
that's how it looks, Bonhomie.
There's an E on the end.
Well,
yeah.
why is it why half the things they say in St. Louis? Why is it Creve Coeur? I mean,
you're right. Yes.
Why isn't it Cape Girardeau? Why is it Cape Girardeau?
It should be. The town's a little fancier.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Bonhomie, and
but that's not the French pronunciation either.
Well, I don't know why. It's the U City pronunciation.
Okay.
It's the Delmar.
It's the McGraw pronunciation.
It's the Bonhomie. Right there on Bonhomie and Delmar is La Pizza, and it's literally, I don't want to call it a hole in the wall because that's not fair. But it's clearly it was something else, and somebody just decided to open up a pizzeria there, and it's old school. I used to go in there all the time and have a couple slices, and then when the pandemic, they just started doing pies, and it's more or less just like takeout pies.
I went to their website and they have the right in big letters there. It's like no Provel. Like, come on. What do you make of us St. Louisans that you would think that we would...
I just don't understand. I'll eat again. We had this conversation yesterday because I was eating a pizza that had
Provel
on it. There's no such thing as bad pizza. In my humble opinion, there's no such thing as bad pizza. There's just levels of good pizza. You're stuck in a truck stop in the middle of Oklahoma at 3 o'clock in the morning, and all they have is pizza under the heat lamps. And you buy it and you eat it, and somebody says, "How's the pizza?" You're like, "Nah, it was all right."
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. It was all right. I mean, it was
edible.
Yeah. There's you've never had a piece of pizza and you're like, "This pizza is awful." But I've had sandwiches. I'm like, this sandwich is terrible. Never had a bad pizza. Just levels of good pizza. All right. Yesterday, shockwaves went through St. Louis because the Business Journal had a story that the Hoffmans, who tried to buy Augusta, and it didn't work out all that well. Then they bought the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then they bought the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Now they want to buy the St. Louis Cardinals. Oh, they also bought Oberweis.
Did they really?
Yeah, they bought Oberweis.
Is Oberweis a national brand?
I don't think so.
It's just around here.
I think it's a regional. Okay. Yeah, I think it's regional. But they grew up here in St. Louis, made their billions, and have now since moved back. Apparently, billionaire Dave Hoffman says that he came in second when the St. Louis Blues were sold to the Steelman Group. And he says that after he pays off the bill for the Penguins, which should be in 12 to 24 months, then he'd like to buy a baseball team.
Is that really all it takes to pay off the...
I mean, it kind of depends. Some people it takes 30 years. Other people it takes, 6 months. He says we think we can do that in 12 to 24 months, and then he'd like to talk. And Bill DeWitt III, the president, had a 2-sentence statement. Quote, "Our family remains committed to St. Louis and the Cardinals. We have no plans to sell the team." So there you go. I know more about the Nancy Guthrie case than I know about the Hoffmans buying the Cardinals or the DeWitts wanting to sell the Cardinals. So that's where I am in this deal.
Yeah, there's no Bears involved.
I don't have any inside information. But I do have inside information.
Oh, really?
In terms of interviewing the DeWitts for the last 25 years, following the world, following the bouncing ball, listening to people, talking to people in, just my own two eyes and ears. The DeWitts love owning the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, seems great.
They will... I don't want to say they'll never sell, but when, if they ever do sell, I will be shocked. I don't think they're ever going to sell. It's a family business. His father owned the St. Louis Browns. right? The dad now owns the Cardinals. He's the principal owner. The son is in the baseball business. The family's in the baseball business. It's just part of their family heritage. They love doing it. And again, yell at me all you want. They are great owners. They have great respect for the history of baseball, the game of baseball, the integrity of baseball. This Cardinal Hall of Fame, they painstakingly research who should be in, who shouldn't be in, and is some second baseman from the 1940s being overlooked, and they go and spend resources and time and efforts because they truly believe that what they're doing is, this is what they do. So I don't see them selling anytime soon. Everyone loves to pile on. They don't spend enough money. You don't like your seats, whatever. You're lucky. You were born on third base and you didn't even know it. That's my humble opinion.
Speaking of baseball.
Yeah, but this Hoffman is just trying to, I don't know this guy. I haven't seen him interviewed much.
Yeah.
He does a lot of sort of talking with his money. It's not all bad. But he comes in, I'm going to buy up Augusta, and he buys up Augusta, and, he bought a couple things, but he left a lot of, sour taste in some people's mouths along the way that I've heard. And, it was, I don't know if he came in, ruffling a few feathers or came in as this big money guy throwing his money around and wasn't all that well received, but it didn't, whatever happened in Augusta, it didn't work out because there were much more grandiose plans to turn Augusta into Napa Valley.
Right.
And it didn't come to fruition, and I know COVID got involved and whatever else. But he's laying out, he's buying stuff now. He's buying Oberweis. He bought the Pittsburgh Penguins. He bought the Post-Dispatch, or a majority of the Post-Dispatch. So the guy's throwing his money around. But the Cardinals, it's not like, sure, everything's for sale. And if you offered the Cardinals $10 billion, would they? Maybe, but they don't need the money. They don't. They have plenty of money to live a very comfortable and extremely filthy rich lifestyle.
And $10 billion's a lot, though.
But again, I
don't think it's $10 billion.
Whatever. Even if it's $2 billion, whatever it is, it's they don't need it. They've it's money's not the motivating factor now. They have it. They've owned the team for 25 years, 30 years. So they've recouped their investment. They're smart. They're diligent. They're good businessmen. They've grown the business, and so I don't see it happening. That's all. But it was interesting to sort of talk about. But this Hoffman is, throwing his weight around. We'll see what he does with the Post-Dispatch. Apparently he's got plans for that. He's got plans. Oberweis, milk seems to be showing. They changed the milk schedule. Now I get it in the middle of the day and not in the middle of the night.
Do you actually get milk delivered?
I love getting my milk delivered.
Oh, my God.
Love it. Love everything about it.
Well, I guess you're home in the middle of the day. So
but when they come at 3 o'clock in the morning, I wait till I come home. I have a nice little, milk.
What do they do in the summer? Does it go bad?
They bring a little dry ice and drop it in there for you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I got a milk. With a box in my front door. I love it.
You got a milk box.
A milk
delivery box.
Delivery. Yeah, it's metal. It's a little insulated.
Does it come once a week?
Yeah, so I love it. I love everything about it. It's fantastic. Hey, I also got a window store behind me. Larry Thornton runs the window store. WSWindow.net, 314-739-0002. The window store. You want good quality windows. You want a St. Louis company. You want a guy who is revered, is loved not only by his family, but his neighbors and Emerson and all the customers over the last 38 years. Well, that's Larry Thornton and his brother, and his son, Joe. His brother works for Gelmish & Sons. Joe's his son, and together, the two of them, they put out a tremendous product. It's all about customer service. It's all about price. It's all about doing it right. So if you want good windows at a good price, no marketing gimmicks, no hard sells, no in-your-face, high pressure. They don't play that game. They don't have time, and they don't want to do it. The window store will take care of you. 314-739-0002, WSWindow.net. What about the Bricka Brothers? Ah, yeah, baby. All right, we're done. Thanks for putting up with me. I'll try and be in a better mood on Monday. But you put me in this bad mood. Frank and Jill, come your way next. So long.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes,